of the Adelaide Footy League Division 1 season. We're just 5 games from finals, and the biggest question in Division 1 right now is, can anyone stop the rampaging Redmen? Well, could it be the new kids on the Div 1 block? A 10-3 side who are consistently competitive every single week. Their biggest loss, just 15 points. Also delivering game after game are great live stream sponsors. The Banner Crew, Buddy Bet, 9 News, Sportal, Roller Dice Racing, Archie's Footwear, Programs to Fit, Dartfish, Sports Interactive and the Moseley Bar and Kitchen. Coming up, it's the league-leading Prince Alfred Old Collegians against third place Sacred Heart Old Collegians. The big games, they keep on coming. Thanks to Filming Footy, this is the Adelaide Footy League. Beautiful blue sky afternoon here in Adelaide at Park 9 and a big footy game coming up. I'm Phil Holden, joined by Tommy Javor. TJ, first versus third, a Sacred Heart, the biggest competitors to Prince Alfred.
We might find out today. I've been saying since December, you're sick of me saying it, Runga PAC, but a new contender has emerged. I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do today.
Just 3 goals conceded in their past 2 games. The defensive Sacred Heart, they'll be up a big test today against the big 2 from Prince Alfred.
Yes, T-Bone Brazel and Juicy Davis, they're going to be very good today in these conditions, I think. And probably a lot of the tools that Sacred Heart have got aren't located down back, except maybe Sean Tapp. Well, I think we'll go to Brazel. It's going to be a great contest.
And the battle of the midfield, Joel Cross, Jack Trengove, it's going to be a match-up galore. What are you expecting where the grunt's going to be?
So for me, I think all Sacred Heart are going to do today is neutralise the midfield. They don't even need to win the midfield. They've just got to make sure they don't give PAC full ascendancy, and they've got to get into these big men. Kakuro, you've got Noble in ruck, you've got Nettie Brooks, Tappy's down back, Colotto. 5 big tools on a beautiful day like today. They might just clunk a few.
Speaking of big tools, Buddy Bet, and remember, gamble responsibly. We're going to look at the big 2, Davis and Brazel from Prince Alfred, how many goals they score. They scored, I think, 6 of the 9 when they met last time against Sacred Heart. I'm going to go 6 again. We're going to make it 5.5, and I believe you're going the unders.
I am going to take the unders. I think 5 will probably be enough maybe to get the job done. If they score 5 between them, I think they'll win today. But I'm expecting a much more higher scoring game than we've seen. I'm pretty excited to win the Buddy Bet on the back of Davis and Brazel doing enough, but not too much.
Alrighty, we're all set for a big encounter. Coming up after the break, the lineups and the first bounce. We'll be back. Thanks to Filming Footy, this is the Adelaide Footy League.
Takes the lead in the Coolmore. Crone draws clean out from Mizzy. It's a Queensland victory. And a big payday for his owners, winning the English Millennium in a romp.
But Ayrton the class, and Ayrton won the Victoria Handicap.
But Mahuta goes all the way. Where again, Mahuta?
Taliqua, too classy for them. The Blue Star flashing, beats the ball. A Blue Star gets up the win.
But it's all Globe, 100 metres to go. It's 6 lengths in front. This is an outstanding performance again. And Globe eased down, won the King's Coronation Cup in a canter.
Welcome back. We're coming to you live from the Filming Footy Media Centre. Phil Hurd and Tommy Javor. And Tommy, what a game we have in store this afternoon. We cannot wait for that first bounce and these two sides to go at each other.
Yeah, mate, I think it reminds me of a spring day, doesn't it? It's nice and warm. The oval's in immaculate condition it's obviously the last week of July. I think we might see these two teams still around the traps in the penultimate game this year, and this is very much an audition today for me.
Yeah, very much so. Of course, PAC, they have that half-game lead over Glenunga. Glenunga are just cruising along. We're going to see a lot of the Rams later in the season when their big games come up.
A couple of injuries today for Glenunga, but Glenunga at home should still get the job done.
All right, we'll talk about those games in just a sec. Let's have a look at this one. Let's have a look at PAC and what they've done this year, the old collegians, and that's pretty snazzy. Oh, we'll look at the ladder first.
How's the colour coding by...
Hugo is just outdoing himself every single
no expense, the young fella from Scotch.
Yeah, we're all in traffic lights again now. As you can see, PAC half a game ahead of Glenunga. Sacred Heart just a game behind. And those percentages, not too much of a difference. So Sacred Heart, not sure if they could take top tonight because I don't think Glenunga will lose, but it's a top three battle.
Just quickly, as you know, I was at multiple clubs this morning. One of them was Broadview. Very excited Broadview Tigers there to be heading to Sea Gully today. Real sniff to make a break for the 8.
Make a break for the...
the 8, the 5. This is their chance. You got to understand, I work community footy. There's top 5s, there's top 4s, there's top 8s. Like Kangaroo Island, 5 teams, top 4.
Finals footy.
Top 5,
yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, and some big games across there. But we got the biggest one of all. Let's have a look at the Red Men, see what they've done this season. Green for win, red for losses, and an orange one for the draw. A lot of green in there, TJ.
Yeah, nothing but green, really. Just about just that one game, and I've got to see them in their loss and their draw. So I think I've seen their weaknesses. Can they be exploited today?
I'll be fascinated to see what you discovered in terms of weaknesses. Maybe kicking from 30 metres out on a really wet day on a really boggy ground.
Yeah, their weaknesses were not in these conditions. So, but again, Shock have got the tools. It'll be interesting.
Yeah. Let's have a look at the lineup, and I can tell you that for the second successive week, it's unchanged. It's settled. And the advertiser, g'day to Daniel Renfro, did a top 50 in the Adelaide Footy League just to compete with your mid-season review, and there of the 50, 9 were the red and white of Prince Alfred.
That's probably just about right, I reckon. About spot on. I could have picked 9 of them in the team in the half year, so I'd be interested to see. He's probably left one out that I think's in there, but and vice versa. But it's a good unit.
It's a very good unit, and of course our buddy bet for today, look for number 19 and number 22, Jaden Davis, Tyson Razzle. It's 5.5 on kicking the goals combined today. TJ's going under, I'm going over.
You did say unchanged?
I believe so.
Yep, so that means they're still missing 2 of their key defenders in Mazzini, and the other name escapes me. Not quite at full strength, but still pretty handy.
Still pretty handy. So let's flip it over and have a look at Sacred Heart. Their season, just the 3 losses, and I guess have a look at those margins. 4 points, 13 points and 15 points. But they've had a couple of losing efforts, but they haven't had a bad game.
No, they've been very, very consistent. I think the good one in round 1 was sort of the last kick. Great effort against PAC. Similar to Glenunga. That was at Glenunga. So, yes, the last 5 games will tell their tale. I think they've got momentum. If you look at the last 3 results, Phil, very much of a muchness. 32, 31, 48, 48. They are looking good. Yeah,
they won the last 4 by at least 5 goals, and it's the defence. Port District held to 1 goal. Old Iggy's held to just 2. And I reckon they had both of those in the first half. So they've got a pretty good defence to match up against Prince Alfred that are always strong in that category. Let's have a look at the Sacred Heart lineup, as this reserves game shouldn't be too far away from finishing. I've got us about 10 minutes away from the start of our encounter. The team lineup, Tristan Casero is back. Wasn't there 2 weeks ago. That's a big in. They've actually got 4 changes from last week's side that beat Old Iggy's by 8 goals. The outs, Elijah Lorby, Lachlan Hart, Sean Henry McAuliffe and Chardley Hildyard. Coming in, the captain, Clayton Simons, he missed last week. Alex Carlotto, the coach, he missed last week, so Sacred Heart a bit underdone last week. Chester Forster making his debut, and Sean Tapp, one of their best players as well. So they were really short last week.
I feel like they rested a few last week. Of course, the name in that lot that jumps out at me, young Chester Forster from the Tommy Javor Footy Factory. I actually coached Chester for 2 years. He's, I don't know what he looks like these days. He probably looks like different. Surfy looking kid, just has an absolute crack. Was a wingman type, fast, exciting. Will be fun to watch.
And that is the siren in the Bees. TJ, you've got a better look at the Sportal scoreboard than I have. How did it end up?
Not sure. He's taken it down already. He's quicker than a hiccup, that lad. 5 goals, 8 to 12 goals, 9 in the favour of Sacred Heart. Quickly on scoreboards, I ran into... Oh, we're on this camera, are we? Beautiful. I ran into the C grade. They were quick to tell me they're trying to do a Tommy Javor. They're 14-0 this year. They want the undefeated C grade season. They're the C grade of PAC, yet to lose a game.
PAC yet to lose.
And their D grade last night, do you know what they did?
What did they do?
They played that famous Div 12 reserves game.
Oh, yes.
4,000 people there. We probably won't comment too much on that one because there's some things happening behind the scenes there, but plenty of media about it and plenty of popularity. If you've got a TikTok or a TokTik or a MyBook or a FaceSpace or whatever all those platforms are, they're everywhere as the PAC take the field.
Yeah, the Who's app and the InstaChat.
Yeah.
As PAC hit the field, a mighty lineup. You look around there and you've got, experience from high levels galore. Craig Pitt, Chris Puck, Curran, Mackenzie, Slee, Mitch Wicks, Jack Django. Just to name 5 that come to mind. And you throw Andrew Bradley in there as well. Tyson Brazel coming back mid-season. You'd almost have to say they are the team to beat until someone beats them.
Yeah, they absolutely are the team to beat, mate. 100%. Been saying that till I was red in the face. It seems they're the Reds as their opponents. Oh, Clayton Simons, the captain, just a few fiery words to get the boys up and about. And I will say this, I'm looking forward to watching Kokura. I haven't seen him play yet this year.
No, well, he was missing in action when we did them a couple of weeks ago. I did see him. Well, he was my buddy bet the week that you were away, and the buddy bet was whether he'd kick 3 goals or not, and he had that done at the 20-minute mark. He's got 27 for the season to lead Shock after kicking 52, playing 18 games last year. Also coming out, it shouldn't be too far away, our umpire and crew. We're waiting for that because it's a couple of things to chat about there, but we will wait until they appear. Also got a little break for that. We'll start having a look at the other games around the Adelaide Footy League, TJ, including one between 9th and 10th, Old Ignatians and Spock.
I think Spock should win that quite well, to be honest with you.
I think they would have double-checked the paperwork.
I think they'll have it right today, mate.
They'll have it right today, yes. And that will, maybe give Spock the slimmest of hopes of avoiding relegation. We'll be watching them in action against the team they're chasing, the Goodwood Saints. That's our game of the week next week. Brighton Bombers, they host Port District. We see District have lost their last 2, albeit against pretty good company. Do they get back on track this week?
They sure do, mate. I'd be incredibly surprised if they don't.
Glenunga and the Goodwood Saints, that's back at a Webb Oval. Goody Saints are pretty good on their home deck, not so away from home.
Yes. I've had a couple of people speak to me this week saying they think Goodwood are a sneaky chance of finals still. I wouldn't go that far, but they're very hard to beat at home. They've got just a slightest window crack open at the moment. McMahon out today, but they've got to stop the big bear, Abe Davis, our roll the dice player of the year leader. So, yeah.
Yeah,
tough.
I mean, Goodwood Saints, I reckon they're a win short. I reckon at home, run home, it's not too bad, but they lost to Tea Tree Gully a couple of weeks ago, and I reckon that's going to be one.
They need a scout. If they get Glenunga today, they'll be right in the conversation.
They'll be back in the contest. So who will finish 5th? Well, I guess that could be decided in the matchup between Tea Tree Gully and Broadview. You did that game at Broadview when I was away. In fact, we'll come back to that because here's our umpiring crew. We want to recognise Michael Williamson, who's umpiring game number 700.
Game number 700. Of course, he did game 699 earlier today as he just holds the ball up proudly. Great story. Had a chat with the umpires. They actually watched the telecast, which is fantastic. We can't do the job.
With the volume up or down?
Up and appreciate it. So it was actually umpire Smitheram that approached me and really enjoyed the banter. But let's start with Michael Williamson, 700th game. I went up to him. I said, "What's the secret, mate? 700 game?" As he quietly puffed on his durry.
I saw that.
I said, "Are you serious, mate? You're going to run out 2 games and you're smoking a durry? Look, gamble responsibly, smoke responsibly, children, don't vape." But he relaxes himself with a pre-game dart, a little chat tap in the heart, and very relaxed customer. And look, 700 games, well done. Also out there, the joke came up last week. Smitheram, any relation to Rod Smitheram? It is actually his cousin out there, so I'll be calling that umpire Rod Smitheram. Didn't do a very good job for his cousin because Port District didn't get up. And the last one, this is an interesting one. Tony Simons, father of Clayton Simons, the other umpire. I said, you can't be serious. He goes, not the same Tony Simons. It's like, you actually can't be serious. Come on, Colin. You're better than that. But, yeah. So, a bit of nepotism floating around here. But, yeah, the umpires, Williamson, there's 3 of them today, Simons and Smitheram. And they do a good job.
It's usually how they do with the 3. Do they take a break or do they patrol a third each?
Yeah, I would have thought it'd be probably easier, wouldn't it? And I would probably expect more free kicks for forwards, which will help your buddy bet.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping for a few external things like the weather and the conditions and a few things to help me, having gone down last week. The other umpires, boundary umpires, Anthony Bertoli and Michael Polnitz. Jason Rigg and Alex Scarman are the goal umpires this afternoon, as we see. The middle, yeah, there's a bit of mud there, not too much in the way of grass. But the rest of the oval, I reckon, compared with what we saw, what was the game we were here where it's rained all day? Was that the Glenunga game earlier this year?
Yeah, it was shocker.
Well, it was a dead set shocker. This is almost the exact opposite. Anyway, back to the battle for the 5. Tea Tree Gully, 6 and 7. Broadview, 5 and 8. If Tea Tree Gully get up, they almost look like they're going to get that 5th spot.
Yeah, I think I'm not looking at the ladder now. I think it was 6% they've got on them as well with percentage. That means Broadview don't just have to finish even; they've got to finish a game above them. So that they must,
or claim some big scalps by some big margins.
And they're not a team that's putting teams away like that. So they're real grinders, battlers. The system's coming together for sure. Loving what Matt Burgess is doing at the club. Little and the others getting their hands on the ball. But
I like that Broadview. If they wanted to jump into 5th tonight, had to beat Tea Tree Gully by 15 goals or so to make up that percentage gap. As captains are out for the coin toss,
McNamara and Simons, this is crucial. I'm going to back McNamara here. He's good on the toss. Oh, and now I assume he's won the toss and hasn't done the English cricket. It feels like I've won the toss. McNamara, he's going to kick to the right of screen, which is down towards the archery end. Everyone knows where the archery is, or Bundy's Road, the zoo end.
Botanic Gardens.
Or for those of you that playing along at home, the Tommy Javor pocket end.
Yes.
You know what's right here in front of me, Phil? I had this discussion with someone today this morning. Is there really one at every ground? I said, well, I claim there is, but some of these Div 1 clubs didn't let me kick any goals. So
you stood there. You may not
stood in the pocket.
Look, speaking to the camera, I stood there, but I didn't actually kick any goals.
I'll never admit it. I definitely kicked a few here. Yeah, played against BSC.
Those records have long since disappeared, I suspect, for us to be able to verify.
No, all there. It's all there.
It's all there?
Yep.
Okay, all there.
I said this to our trainees the other day, and they looked it up. The day I kicked 12, they looked up, they found it.
They give you trainees.
I've got a team of 4 and a wonderful team. Shout out to Lockie, Finn and Josh.
Just imagine you in a
They all play local footy too, which is great for Modbury, Colonel Light Gardens and Tanunda.
Fantastic. Magpies. This game here, we've previewed the other ones. You said Tea Tree Gully against Broadview?
At home, yeah.
Okay. This one here, Prince Alfred Old Collegiate Sacred Heart. Who are we going for and what kind of margin are we looking at?
This game here, so I'm just a little bit distracted by what's going on the field there. As umpires just swimming through the ball. What was the question?
Who's going to... The ultimate question, TJ. Who's going to win this game we're streaming?
I've tipped PAC in my weekly wrap. I am the Div 1 expert. My mum tells me I am. But
you tell everybody else you are.
Yeah, I've been pretty good, but I tend to get 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5. I tip PAC with no surprise for me. If the shock big men can get a hold of them, they'll find a way today. So and just looking, sorry, I don't want to be too long in winding my answer, but as they come down, you could see the size advantage. Tappy and the other big fella down here are going to be able to cover Brazel, and I think it's Lucas Schulz will be down here at the other end. Do PAC? They've got the quality in Curran and these types. Can they cover the big fellas of Ned Brooks and Colotto?
Jolly, Bradley, Trengo in the middle.
Useful.
That's formidable. Who have we got? We've got
McNamara's in there.
As an addition.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Those three are in the middle. All right, let's rock and roll. You're with Tommy Javor.
It'll be Noble and Neil. Who gets first touch? Gee, they jump up high. Bobbles around. Oh, out of mid-air there. Nice play there by Cameron Rankin. Cranky. Bobs around. There they go. The quick hands in the hands of Wildman, the distributor. They love giving it to him off half-back. Interesting kick. Davis in early. Gets one high. 3 umpires. They don't see that. Ollie Clark, he tends to bub up early, doesn't he, Phil?
Yeah, he did kick the first goal last week. Gets it to Larson on the edge of 50. To the top of the square, but just overcooked it a bit. Clayton Simons back as captain today. Kicks it. He heads towards the Hackney Road pocket. Not the Tommy Javor one.
That's McRae for sure.
McRae, yeah. We just wanted to make sure because Rankin has it. He was named and out, but then in. They updated their team on Play HQ between Friday morning and this morning. So one way to stop Prince Alfred scoring is for them not to touch the ball. Sacred Heart are conceding ground with Dewhurst, but they've got no more ground to concede, TJ.
Yes, both these teams do this a bit. They'll ship shape and move around until they get the exit they want. Big Tappy, just too strong, I think. It is Tappy, isn't it?
Yep.
No, it's not. It's Noble,
the best on ground 2 weeks ago.
And that's actually a very clever kick just to the advantage of Ethan Moore. His brother's a gymnast. He's not. Former Port top-up player. Simons makes his way all the way down there. And that is laser-like from the skip. He hits up Colotto, was it? Yep. Colotto, again, just showing around back to Simons. Simons with his third touch early. He's not built like a footballer, it's fair. He's built like a wiry footballer.
Well,
but, geez, good, isn't he?
He's had one in the back lines, one in the midfield, now one shooting for goal, all in the space of a minute. That's fantastic work rate.
To take his best kick from here. Probably just a slight breeze he'd be going into. But he kicked from just inside 50. Phil, you're on the binos. I'll let you call it.
All right, just trying to find, 48 metres. Well spotted, TJ. The kick is awry to the right-hand side or the near side. In fact, that did not score. Brass Razoo. We're still all donuts. 2 minutes into the first quarter here at Park 9.
Not sure. It's just a match pattern I've noticed. We've been here 4 times this year. That end of the ground, you've got to have your shots from inside the V. Once you get near those edges, it's very difficult.
Well, we talk a lot about the Melbourne Street pocket and how dead that is. And we saw one there inside 50. Yeah, not the greatest kick.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Jamie Elliott could have hit one of those last week. Would have made me a bit happier. But anyway, they come out. That's a nice kick to the advantage so he could run onto it there. Not sure who it is, but runs onto it nicely, goes long. 55 down to Davis. Oh, good defensive play there. Good craft. That was a Dewhurst. Comes out, just gets rid of it, drops it. Davis will have another go on his left. He's a penetrating kick. It might just be across the face. It is. It's the first minor score of the game. It's PAC 1, leads Sacred Heart 0. And the transition from forward to defence from these two teams, you can see it already. It's going to be lethal, they feel.
Yeah, and it was Mackenzie Slee who launched that long kick inside 50 with the quick transition. Just quickly, TJ, who was the behind scorer?
Jaden Davis.
That
doesn't. Hey, don't you start counting points.
6 behinds doesn't count. 5.5. What's that? 33. So he kicks 5 goals forward. Do I win? Anyway, Buddy Beck, gamble responsibly. Yeah. As it's Seb Kerrish, he's been in the best players plenty of times this season. Tries to clear it. It's at that 50-metre arc, and Zach Sanderson is under a bit of pressure.
Yep.
Neil from one side.
Not a big crowd on the outer side, but plenty on this side, Phil, as the big men do battle.
Well, you're closer to the chicken roll and the Kransky if you're on this side. Bit of a walk over there.
Yep. Balls at ground level umpire. One of the 3 umpires will probably have a ball up or something. They let him play, and I don't mind that. Gets it out. Quick hands. Larson's the recipient in the end. It might be too high or he's held. Either way, getting up is that man Slee. He's had a good start. He's a penetrating kick. We saw that with the last one, Phil. Davis he loses his man. Was Wicks, was it? Yep. And Simons just chops it back. Simons, well, it's only early. It's 4-minute mark, but he's best on ground at the moment. At this rate, he's going to have approximately 120 touches.
Rated number 29 in the Advertiser top 50.
Who was number 1?
I'll give you one guess.
Trengove?
Trengove was 1. Gray was 2. Chris Curran was 3. Alex Carlotto was 5. Craig Pitt was 7. And they're all here this afternoon except for Sam Gray. And we saw plenty of us.
Might be here, you wouldn't think. But
if he is, he's got lost on the way to Brighton. Big time.
And, of course...
He took a left at Alberton. He took a right at Tapley Road.
Top 10 commentators recently released. Phil, you were number 1. I was number 9.
Oh, number 9. Okay.
As we carry on. And the ball is at ground level. They're letting it go a little bit. They're not quick on the whistle. And I like this from the umpires. Bradley shapes with the left and goes with the right with an awkward barrel-looking kick and allow them to work across. Again, big, strong play there. Sean Tapp has started. No, that's not Tapp. That is Tappy, sorry. Gets it and gives it.
Cooper Brinkworth with the kick. And he's found us a couple of clunks so far by the big men. This is
Brooks.
Brooks who's got it. So Noble's taken one. Brooks has taken another. I have a feeling that in terms of ball in the air, advantage Sacred Heart. Ball at the ground, maybe advantage Prince Alfred.
I think, Phil, normally I've got a lot of little anecdotes and nicknames and things ready. Today I'm actually a bit of a fan. I've gone a bit nuff on you because I'm just excited about watching this game of footy. I'll try and commentate it too. But
Well, I mean, this is some games you have to add a little bit to keep it entertaining.
Yep.
This game, I think, as I said to you before, is probably going to call itself to a degree. Although,
having said that, we better say something about it.
although
Ball up.
part of it is, I go back to the Port District Sacred Heart game 2 weeks ago, where we had 1 goal, scored in an entirety half of football.
Yeah, it was fun.
That was fun. We'll try and give it a bit. We're used to that now. We'll try and give it a bit more action-packed. That's more. He's got the hand pass on. This is the kick into the fat side of the ground. Picking it up was Proud, I think, and Carlotto's taken it. He's dealt with and trying to get out to the debutant in Chester. Did he just kick it off his knee accidentally?
It's off his foot. That's got to be last touch. The boundary umpire's called the wrong signal there, and the PAC players just letting him know, and the other umpires coming in. They should sort this out between them, and correctly done.
Yeah.
It's off his foot.
Well,
Cam Wildman, who didn't rate his goal as highly as you did last
I think
week.
he's had a haircut since. Realised if he's going to get on TV regularly, better spruce himself up a bit.
Yes. Liam has not had a haircut. So I asked him today. He hadn't.
Okay.
So, it's certainly 6-minute mark, no score. You would expect to take a while to break, but plenty happening. And the midfield duel even at this stage, Phil.
You always expect a low-scoring first quarter. It's when you get a low-scoring second and third combined.
Razzle, the T-bone, don't argue, release handballs on. It's a bit high up and under, but just good enough. And the inside out, check side.
Garrels.
I know what, Josh Garrels, I know what Jason Dunstall would have said. Because if he had a veered left, he could have used his left foot. But these day and age, kids don't want to be two-sided players. They want to kick checkies and droppies and round the corners and
Dribblers.
Yeah, dribbles and make the ball talk. And fundamentals are still my favourite thing to teach.
It's still all worth 6 points, isn't it?
It doesn't matter how it goes through. You don't look at the mantelpiece when you're stoking the fire.
It still comes up the same in the paper and on the Play HQ.
Yeah, it comes up the same with the computer, they say these days. Kids wouldn't know what the paper is. I don't even get the Sunday Mail to read the paper anymore to get the scores. My work's done on a
You
Saturday
watch the
night.
Weekly Wrap. That's how you get the scores.
Love the Weekly Wrap. It's funny, sometimes we say exactly the same thing in our segments because obviously we don't record at the same time. So at least we're saying the same thing, not different. There's the ball bobs. Again, quick hands, good play there. Gets it to Darcy Glorious, who was in the best players last week. Quite a few ex-Glenelg kids out here, which is always nice to see for me. Brazel pushing back, and again, good strong mark. Seb Kerrish might have been best last week.
Yeah.
Lovely left footer, Seb. Watch this. I'm glad he actually hit a drop punt there. Right in front of us.
Yeah. Effective kick, finds Lobby. I mean, I'd say 70% of the players been inside Prince Alfred's forward 50. They've only really got 2 shots on goal in anger and missed both.
Yep.
So Sacred Heart's defence that has been lights out the last 2 weeks is continuing that for the moment, albeit 8 minutes of the first quarter. We are still very much in the early days. A free kick to Jackson Fox.
Yeah, the Fox. He didn't know it was his free, but interesting to see Sam Lauby normally kicks goals, pushing all the way down here. So
Jackson Fox, man of mystery. Play HQ goes back to last year and nothing before that.
Yep.
I don't believe you can just turn up and play football at this level, having never played it before.
Maybe
but anyway, Tom McDermott with the kick.
Yep.
Simon's in the pocket. 40, actually, that's about 35 out.
Yep.
He had the sighter.
Yeah,
He's 10 metres closer.
Captain's goal time here,
Yep.
Phil. Jackson Fox, just coming back to him. Perhaps he's a very mature-looking 1-year-old. Who knows? 2-year-old. It's another theory.
It's another theory.
Yeah.
Could be another sport convert. Could have had a name change. Could be under witness protection, and we've just busted his alias.
What's our van called again, mate, as he lines up for goal
The,
here from
the
45?
Filming Footy Media Centre.
The Filming Footy Media Centre lines up from 45, and that's your first filming whatever it is, called Media Centre goal. It goes to Simons. His dad will be out there and happy, umpire Tony Simons. I butchered that like J&S Meats does down in Elizabeth. Sorry, Sacred Heart, 1 goal.
I was waiting for a thingy bob to appear in there.
We're in the bloody van. It was a good kick and it was
Yeah,
a
it's the
goal.
van.
Most importantly, we talked about he had the side up. That's a goal a captain kicks.
And that, that breaks a little bit of a run of play. You see the Sportal scoreboard. Well, that's actually not a Sportal scoreboard. Sportal scoreboard would light up with all sorts of wonderful things. At least this does tell the
And
score.
look how little the kid is doing the scoreboard. He's doing a good job considering.
How does he do the Prince's score? He can't reach. The joys of coming out and just watching a local
All right,
game
Fred,
of
watch
footy.
these two boys jump. Look at them go. Bang, at their highest point. Neil gets the touchdown. Jolly's been quiet. I think they're putting some bit of time into him. It's Dougie Proud. Neil with the follow-up. Quick kick out of me there and in front. Too strong, too good. Trengo with his first real effective play. Doesn't get ambition, capability confused. Just hits up. Nice spot. Good spoil, Sacred Heart. Ground level. Tell you what, you've got to be quick here. You've got a quarter of a second. Quicker than a hiccup once you get the ball. Making a liar of me there was Lockie McNamara, but Tappy will get it. Tappy will just go bang. Let me make it someone else's problem. But it's all PAC. Is that Wicks or Slee? I get him confused.
That is
That's
Wicks.
too high.
I
That's what it is. Oh, the umpire says ball it in.
So I'll give you a clue. Wicks has got the black boots. Slee, who's going back, has got the blue boots.
And like, without being rude, Wicks is heavier. Like,
And
stronger
slightly
body.
darker hair.
Yeah, yeah. And Slee is taller. I reckon I've got it now.
Sometimes it does help if they're in the same vicinity at the same time. I found
really
Foster on debut. At least that kick's gone in the field of play, which is good. Carlotto takes on the whole of the Prince's defence. He's got a free kick. They're playing on. Lobby with the kick inside 50's found a target. This is Joel Cross. He's a bit indecisive. No one's on the mark, are they?
No, the umpire's having I think they're bringing it back.
Not advantage.
Looks like an advantage 40 metres down the ground.
How could it possibly be advantage when you're in chance of kicking a goal? So what does Carlotto do? He doesn't argue the point because he's a coach.
Luke McCauley's confused back there. He was standing the mark at about a 45-degree angle.
It's with Bo McRae. He'll centre the ball. This is what you do when you're in that pocket.
Oh, yes. Is that Simons again? It's not, is it? I think it is.
No, I reckon
he's bobbed in, taking the chest mark.
It's his doppelganger if it's not. Yeah, that's Simons. Seen that Mo? Yeah.
Yeah. Filthy Mo month it is. I've got one going myself. As in, not you filthy. Not I do sometimes call you filthy. He's going to line up for a second. And this one's going to be tricky because this is he's still inside the V though.
He's in it's a broad V, but it's still a V.
Kick the goal, kick straight through the line of the ball, and he does. He's a good footballer. He's got plenty of experience. He's kicked his second, and Sacred Heart second, and they lead quite handy lead of 10 points at the 12-minute mark of the second quarter.
Yeah, spend some time.
And we're just watching the replay here, Phil, and audio shouldn't be on. And it's a nice-looking kick, isn't it? Straight through the high diddle-diddle. Umpire doesn't move. Just back on the, if we can quickly, the Slee and Wicks thing. You remember us calling the 2019 Grand Final. Amazing day.
Yes.
Pain and win Div 1. Emotional scenes. I come down, I see my mates, like the next time we caught up. What a day. How it was great. He goes, first thing they said to me, you called Pierce Seymour, Chase Bauer all day. I was like, okay. Thanks for the feedback.
They were 26 and 27 from memory.
I can't remember their numbers. Both left footers that ran from defence a lot. As
Correct.
The ball goes up.
They both clunked a few early days. Okay, because that was a crazy grand final played in definitely in two halves.
Yeah. Better team won on the day. Sorry, PAC.
They have the flag to show for it, if not the shield anymore. Princes with the clearance. Tap comes in and runs interference beautifully. Going in for a second effort was Josh Perks. He takes it over the line. Touchdown and a throw in front of the Princes marquees that they erect here.
I know I'm here for the banter and the colour, but surely then you had to call Sean Tap the ball. I mean,
I leave those. I leave those pieces of magic for you.
Got a fair hairdo on him as well. Is in front there? The Sacred Heart rack with Noble, yeah. I get Noble. There's all those big guys. Noble and Brooks sometimes throw me a bit, even though they don't look alike. Again, he's very nervous when I interviewed him, which really surprises me.
Actually, I've got it worked. Mine is Noble and Tap, but Noble's wearing the hair free, and Tap's got a top knot.
Lovely release handball there. Hits Glorious. Just misses the target. It'll end up with McRae, though. He's got a lovely left foot. Really economical style. Here they go. Carlotto goes along to the hot spot, but it's all PAC there, and a strong defensive mark was taken by Kazza, Chris Curran.
Chris Curran rated the third best player in the Adelaide Footy League, and a big in, no doubt about that. Yet to kick a goal in his 27 games, number 28 for the Red Men. He spent some time with the Wanderers up in the territory as the ball moves around the back line. Sits now with Oscar Clark, not to be confused with Ollie Clark.
He's the type of guy that likes to roam around. That's the Wanderer.
Is that their song? Is that their song when they win?
Maybe.
Yeah, the footy team. We'll work on that later.
Yeah,
Clayton Simons, another touch. This one only as far as Wildman.
Well, that's 7 touches, 2 of them goals.
Far out.
It's on course for 28 and 8. If he gets that, I'm going to give him the thongs, the mouth guard, the Mosley.
You're going to shorten it. I'm just going to give you everything.
Here you go, mate. Save me doing 4 interviews. You are a star, young man.
One of them has to be the player of the day.
McRae doing a great job on Jolly. He's having the better of that duel at the moment, which is, like I said, all they've got to do is neutralise him, and it might be enough.
Well, McRae is working Yeah, there he is with Jolly.
He's paired off with him definitely the whole time. He looks for him, he goes to him. I think they've taken responsibility as the ball's just at ground level. And again, just getting it forward, quick kick, but it bobbles out. Is that a Clark? One of the Clarks?
The Clark, yep.
No relation, of course. Straight down the gullet, though. 2-on-1, though. Tappy, tappy, tappy. The old tapperoo just swings onto his right. Kicking's not his strength, but geez, strong, and he finds the ball. And finds, just for a little change of pace, Clayton Dirty Mo Simons.
You reckon Craig Pitt might say, I might get this guy an opponent sometime this afternoon?
I think he might use a slightly different terminology and suggest that somebody perhaps could stand next to him.
Stand next. And when he moves, move with him. Yeah, I know it's not that simple, of course. Well, they've got it through. This is Noble's kick. Inside the 25-metre area, there is a clunk, but it is Oscar Clark. So the Clarks are getting in the action. Oscar down back and Ollie a bit further upfield. Oscar sticks by the boundary line, spots up the coach. Always a good move. Craig Pitt at the half-back flank.
Again, another great guide interview last week. Gave us good insight, humble. Never gives himself in the best players, but I was pretty happy with our selection last week.
Well, I think that's why it was even better that we did.
Yeah.
Because he deserves some recognition at some point.
And it is that, it's that Sam Powell-Pepper thing, is they've burnt the kicker and they should be able to kill him with Darcy Glorious reading the ball well, getting the quick hands. We'll come back to that one. And PAC get it back to ground level. That's a good tackle. Oh, no, that's a sling in the end, is it? No. It's a holding the ball. Darcy Glorious. Bit of that inner Javor fire in that tackle. Well done, Darcy. It's a strong tackle. And a dangerous spot to have the ball. Where are you going, mate? Don't go out there. Don't go. Well, fortune favours the brave, as Matt Damon said, to get me investing Crispo. That didn't go well, but that kick did. And Clark's having a good little purple patch down back. He's probably their best defender at the moment. Great kick. Oh, flying attempt. Oliver Clark. Clark to Clark. We've seen that before.
Seb Cash into the pocket. There's a couple that go for a big fly. Bit of a worry. There's a flight path over this oval.
Yep.
And it will be a free kick to Oscar Clark. What's that? That's his fourth touch in about 45 seconds, I reckon. Yeah. Princes would just want to clear the ball, though. It's been down here for a little while. Sacred Heart haven't added to the score. 2 straight 12. Princes 2 behind. 17 and a half gone. It looks like we're in for an entertaining contest as Tap takes them up. Oh, look at this. Wide open. Simon. He still hasn't got an opponent despite our pleadings. He kicks it into the Oban. I'm going to call it the Oban pocket. And eventually will this spill out of bounds? Yes, it will. Throw in.
All right. Got a job for you, Phil, because that's minimum 9 touches already.
Keep count?
No, it's not even keep count. And again, no one has gone to... Is he on a wing? It's the only explanation as to how he's loose, or he's loose man in defence.
He's loose again.
There's no one on him. There's no one going near him. He's hurting you. Adam Sylvie. Make the move.
So where's the free Princess player? That's my question.
We'll come back to that Craig Pitt thing. There's just a bit happening at the ball. Again, Tap. He's having a really good quarter. And they just, they'll try and build this time, but there's nothing in the chain. They're forced to go back. They've structured up, they've set up well, and they're going to have to go the other way.
Interesting. He's manned up he's on Trengove. The 9s are at it.
Yep, so
maybe that's it.
Nah,
maybe Prince is saying we'll let Trengove go for it. Well, Simons went to him.
Yeah, it's dropped off him now. Tap's gone to Trengove. It's going to go over to Brazel. Brazel just runs under the ball. They just look a touch off PAC, don't they? Or are Sacred Heart on?
Yeah.
Yes. It just came back to the Pitt thing last week. Sam Powell-Pepper doesn't get 25 touches, but sets up, structures up, hits into the contest. For Craig Pitt last week was the way he set everything up behind the ball all day. It was so crucial, and it just shut Port down from scoring.
McRae.
Winning score.
On to Prout. Prout down that wing. We're seeing most of the ball on the other side. Here comes a centering kick, partially smothered.
Lovely football there. Great turn.
There might be Gorells with the high kick, looking for Ollie Clark to crumb it. He's got it right now. He evaded 1 and ran straight into 2.
And threw it away.
Yeah, umpire said that's a fair disposal this afternoon.
Yeah. Umpire Tony Simons comes in, not the wingman from Glenelg.
30 metres out, pretty much straight in front of the Prince's goal. Nice kick out of the air by Tap. Showing some great agility for a big man. And it's marked by Joel Cross and the McGarry medalist. Dual McGarry medalist is on his way to Oscar Lovelock.
Yeah, 2 more than me he's got. They go down, of course, Archie Locklock, his brother, playing for Glenelg. Playing a bit of 1s and 2s down there. And the ball's at ground level. Good pick up, good ground ball. Again, the fundamentals crucial, especially on a day like today. It's going to be hot. And he shortened himself. He lowered his body position. Oh, he's pinned him. Yep. Yeah, I have no problem with that, Phil.
Oh, Carlotto's gone down and...
Like a baby giraffe then. He just forgot how to walk.
That looks like
Did he tread on his own foot then?
That looks like some pretty heavy strapping.
That's for the ruck. That'd be a ruck
That's just
thing.
a calf thing. Okay.
Yeah, based on my long career in ruck.
How long did you last?
Every time I went in the forward line, that was when I'd do it.
Okay.
Bit of body work, Phil. Good tackle.
In the Tommy Javor pocket.
Often.
Doing the ruck work in the Tommy Javor pocket.
That's right.
But they're all feeling it a bit now. Joel Cross has got to do his shoelaces up.
PAC talked last week about how important their starts were. Well, they haven't had a good start this time, but not too much damage done.
They've had just as much of the ball. It's really been just a better conversion. Princess 2 snaps. Sacred Heart 2 clunks. 2 good shots.
And he takes 1 goal to set a team alight and change that momentum as well. I think Darcy Gloss has had his angry pills today. He's really throwing his weight around. Not that there's too much of it.
Princess have it off half-back. Sending kick finds Clark. Here comes a bit of a run. Now across the centre square it goes. Ollie Clark's picked it up. Beautiful pick up and turn. Partially smothered. So this is not a mark. This is Davis for the first goal for the Red Men. And Jaden Davis delivers his 37th goal this season.
And one for our buddy bet, Phil, with Juice Davis. Even in the build-up, though, you'll notice there, smother. Plenty of pressure by Sacred Heart. They're doing the little things well. A bit fortuitous there. Lands in the man we call Juice. He's a beautiful finisher, left-footed genius, the man.
Where would you reckon that would have gone if it wasn't smothered? Would it have still ended up with Davis, you reckon?
I think it might have been a shot on goal from 40 out, swinging onto his right.
Okay.
Based on the
So in
lines
essence, it was the ricochet that did in Sacred Heart's defence on that occasion.
Give Rick the goal assist in that one. Okay, now what I'm loving about this ruck contest is we've got a bit of a change. The coaches come in, but watch these two men just jump up at the ball. Good contest. Colotto gets it coming down, releases to Lovelock, I think. Lovelock round the body, high up and under. Holds up a little bit in what there might be a slight breeze going to the right of screen. Sacred Heart, they clear, they run, they roll. Coming round wide was that Chester Forster?
It was.
He's still got the long fluffy hair. He's always had the long fluffy mullet. Good boy. Jolly with his first real effective kick that I can remember. He's probably had a couple that we missed, but gets it down and they look dangerous when it's in his hands. And all of a sudden, McNamara's got it in his hands and here they go. They'll set up, but good pressure. Not allowing any open space here. Larson gets on the end of it. He is a left footer. Brazel in best position. He's felled after disposal, is he? And Brazel will say, thank you very much. I'll take it down here. Yep. It's like getting paid for being on holidays, that, when you get one downfield next to the goal square.
Well, he's got to kick it yet, and this is not an easy one to nail.
This is not real great for my buddy bet either.
It was looking great about 3 minutes ago.
Now you're on target for 8 for the day if he puts this through.
It's still got a 5 to go, TJ, so long way.
Round the corner kick. And he likes it. He gives it the fist punt, the big come on. That's his first, their second. And all of a sudden, a 10-point deficit turns into a 2-point lead on the back of the dynamic duo as we look at the nice, and they get good at this these days. They practice that a lot. I used to get called a lair for practicing that all the time. Now, maybe I was just ahead of my time, Phil.
You were ahead of your time.
Yes, of course, I'm Gaelic football heritage, so it was one of our kicks called the rounder kind of kick, and it works.
Sportal scoreboard, 24 minutes gone. Prince Alfred with the last 2 kicks being goals. Now lead 2-2-14. Sacred Heart Old Collisions 2 straight 12. Entertaining first quarter of footy. Quarter time, we'll take a break. We'll get TJ's analysis. I'll get you some scores around Division 1, round 14. McRae takes on the D, tries to get it to Glorious. McRae goes back and gets it again. Another raking hand pass. This in the path of Jackson Fox. He's taken down to Jolly. Quick kick around the body to no one in particular. Bounce will be interesting here. And the desperate little touch to save the free by Lucas Schultz makes it a throw-in rather than shock footy.
No, I don't want to spend the day ripping the PI55 out of the English nation, but it does feel like Shock are winning, even though they are down by 2 points. McRae, Moore, Lovelock, all breaking even the midfield at least, and good centre break there, just didn't capitalise.
Wildman had it and lost it. Oscar Clark with a tackle, ball spills free. McRae now with a tackle over the line. Another throw in front of those like the Sacred Heart fans, that little pocket there next to their bench.
Yep. The marquee's up, of course. Beautiful day for football, it's fair to be said. 17 degrees.
This is as good as you'd expect to get late in July. It's next week, August, which means next week we can say finals next month. Simons, been quiet for the last 3 minutes, gets a long penetrating kick to the top of the screen, and he's found a target, if you don't mind.
Yes, is that Kukuro? I think it might be. His 10th touch for the quarter there. It is Kukuro. 10th touch for the quarter that I've counted, and I mean, I'm not, I might have missed some. 2 goals. This will be a goal assist, you'd assume. Sorry to put the mockers on you there, Tristan. As he lines up 20 metres out, 25 metres out, and you're welcome, PAC. I'm here all day.
How much do you charge per curse?
Oh, it was just... He should have...
No, that's bread and butter.
Well, the alignment was right. The momentum was fine. I think it might have been the ball drop just before the point of impact that shifted it that way. He didn't need to kick it hard, just needed to kick through the line of the ball and didn't.
Kick comes out. And, Clayton Simons could have had another mark in touch, but left it to the big man in Sean Tapp, who's a fair way up the ground. Well, everyone's fair way up the ground. They're all in the northern part of this Park 9. Willius, good hand pass out. Frees up Forster. His kick into the pocket, finds a target. And this will be an interesting shot.
Jackson
Fox, who I've got, kicked 1 goal last week against Old Iggy's. Well, okay. He's actually rotated 6 games Resi, 6 games League this year, after playing 1 League, 18 Resis last year. So starting to become a regular. And this is for the lead. A point will tie, a goal will lead, a miss, and Princess will take a lead into quarter time.
He'll kick from right on the 50, I reckon, Phil. Probably take his best effort. Just inside.
That's a low kick, I reckon. Yeah, he's got the distance, missed to the right. We are all tied up at quarter time. 2-2. Richie Benno would be enjoying this one. Prince Alfred 2-2-14. Shock 2-2-14. We'll be back after the break. You're watching the Adelaide Footy League. Thanks to Filming Footy.
Teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable, so basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
Welcome back to Park 9. You can see there the Sacred Heart Old Collegians bench. They'd be pretty happy. They would have been underdogs for this one. Coming in with some confidence, but still the underdogs. They pretty much matched, if not beaten, Prince Alfred in a couple of categories. It's all tied up 2-2 apiece. Tommy Javor, your thoughts on that first quarter?
Super impressed with Sacred Heart. Thought, as you said, scoreboard says it's even. Thought they were the dominant team. Fortuitous goals for PAC, a bobble rebound and a free kick downfield. I guess you could argue a bit of discipline, but Sacred Heart looking good.
Around the Adelaide Footy League, can tell you at Karen Rolton Oval, it's St Peter's 7 straight, 42. Old Ignatians 1-4-10.
That one's all over.
That's 32 points heading towards quarter time. Brighton Bombers and Port District at Brighton Road. The Bombers leading Port District by 10 points, 26-16.
Wow.
That wasn't the one that I mentioned something before, I should add. Glenunga and Goodwood Saints. Buddy, bet, gamble responsibly. It's 33-1, Glenunga.
Yeah.
Not the odds, the score. A 32-point lead to the Rams there as quarter time. And at Pertaringa Oval, Tea Tree Gully leading Broadview by 15 points, 33-18. So at the moment, you're, 4
out of 5.
You're 3 out of 4.
Yeah.
Is this one, who knows? But, Brighton ahead of Port District. We'll see how long that lasts, and that would spark things up a little bit if the Bombers did get up. Here in the Filming Footy Media Centre, Phil Hurd and Tommy Javor. TJ, who's got a lift from both sides? I mean, we saw more of... Yeah, I mean, we don't have the stats, but you would think that the possession count favoured Sacred Heart.
Heavily.
Princes had field position early, but it went more the other way the longer the quarter went.
Princes still, when they got the ball, were able to they tried to cut through and come through the corridor, so they did that pretty well, whereas Sacred Heart, as often away teams do, ended up on the flanks, deep on the flanks, but had full control and did run it out of the back pretty well. I'd suggest heavily in favour of the possession to be for Sacred Heart. Who needs to lift? I'd suggest the PAC midfield, which we don't say very often. And looking in there now, we can see them all because there's no one in our way. Jolly, Bradley, McNamara, and in ruck, it's the second ruck. So would probably be Lucas Schultz, is it? Yes.
Yes.
It is. So let's have a look at the other side just quickly, Phil, if we can. We've got the big fella Noble, Ethan Moore in there with Doug Proud, and of course the man they call him Frosty, do they? Bo McRae. I've got to check my notes. They did tell me what they call him. What number was he?
29.
29. Snowy. They call him Snowy. Frosty Snowy. I was close.
Snowy the Frost Man. Okay.
Again, quick tackle there from the hit out. Good strong play. He was going nowhere. I think it might be young Moore. Big shout out to Steve Moore.
Yeah, your old boss.
Yeah, he was. Someone else said that to me the other day as well. So.
I think it was me 2 weeks ago when you made
No, someone said it to me this week. Put in the back there, and the umpire, he played for it, and eventually the umpire said, I better pay that.
All right, so Shock have it deep in their back pocket down another block further on. They'd be in Melbourne Street.
Dangerous kick, but it works,
kick. Yeah.
And they're out.
Lovelock got the hand pass on.
They had no one to go to.
The kick looking for Kakura left a bit to be desired. He comes in and plays defender instead, wrapping up Curran, 52 out from the shot goal. And, took him a bit high apparently. You're in the back, take your pick. And Curran's away.
There he is away. He goes long down to half forward. It should get to... Oh, he's just caught him going through. He says, sorry. We'll just take a quick step back. The player running through the middle of the ground, years gone by, straight down to the full forward who would have been there. These days, there's no full forward. We're all pressing up and trying different things.
That was Perks, who managed to fumble the ball and take an opponent high at the same time.
Seb Kerridge there got one right in the old gob. I think it might be Clayton Simons, just business as usual for him. He's a good user of the ball too. There, just hits up. Nice little hit up there to his mate in Sam Lauby. He's covered some territory today, Laubs. Long right in front of the commentary box. Like the big fellas will fly. In front, it's the coach. That's a great clunk that's not paid. Crossy just gets on with it anyway. Fortuitous kick, don't tell me. Oh, he's tapped it back to no one in particular, but running onto it there is McDermott. They keep it going this way, and that is our classic case of shortening. Just felt the pressure, lost his legs, gets taken high.
McRae is in there trying to break it all up.
I'm not sure if we can get a replay of that. This is one
debutant with the ball, I think.
you don't want to see anyone get taken high, but contributing to the contact, you see he just changes his body to a 45-degree angle, leads with the head. Yeah. It's taken high. You see it in every game of footy you watch now. It's the new thing. And how do we get out of the game? Well, we decapitate someone, and they'll stop doing it. I know it's just a bugbear minefield because I wasn't quick enough to get low.
So it is a debutant.
Yeah.
Chester Forster played 4 games with the Panthers reserves without a goal. 4 goals in the reserves, and is first.
Oh, and they get into it. It is on. It is on. Somebody throw a punch, for God's sake.
Everyone comes round, and this is not to hug the debutant, it's to just carry on what was happening before.
Well, he went through when he started. He went straight into the man on the mark and let him have it, which, do the job, get the ball first, kick the goal. He did that. And then I'll come into you, and let's ask how your mother is. And just renew a great...
So what are the... I saw a Sandful one, I think it was last week, Glenelgan West, 2 weeks ago maybe, and they had reprimands across the board for about 10 players in a melee.
Someone got a $125 fine.
So at the Adelaide Footy League, so we got a melee. I mean, have you ever attended a reprimand?
No, I haven't.
Has anyone ever seen one
generally,
of those?
whenever I did something wrong, there was no reprimand involved. It was...
There was a number and then weeks attached to it.
I once got 3 months in a different sport.
3 months?
Inciting a riot. True story. I went back 3 years later to win a national title.
I'll note that one down. When we have a game of no consequence that's one-sided,
tell me about the time you got 3 months.
Riot. Yeah. But back to this one, Bo McRae. Shock of taking the lead with that goal. Heading in the Carlotta direction. Well, that one definitely wasn't a mark. I like the first one, which turned out all right for the double blue side.
Definitely a slight breeze going to the Sacred Heart's end, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. By the looks of the kicks,
well,
yes.
This kick will test it. He's a beautiful kick here, Snowy McRae. Left footer. I think he'll try and hit someone up. But the goal square's empty. He might just... No, he doesn't. Unselfish. Looks for the big fella. And working at the back here, they should clear through Slee and... He just does, we'll call that a stat. Gets the handball. Now we'll take the kick, will he? No. Yep, he will. And interesting this next 5 minutes. You can just feel a little breeze coming into our broadcast area.
And I think you're right. It's favouring the team kicking, favouring Sacred Heart at this point, I think.
Paddy Singleton deep in the back pocket. Tappy will fly from the front. He gets a little nudge with a foot, though. I think that's actually all right. Working at Slee. Slee goes inboard again, though. You're hot, son. Oh, he gets his kick. That's all right. Yeah. Pritchard backs the kick, and he's able to work. Quick tackle. And I thought that was a good tackle.
I mean, with those things, it doesn't have to be a great kick. No. It just has to be a kick.
That's right. As they go across to Bradley again. He's been pretty quiet early as well by his standards, lofty standards.
Good kick.
Yep. Larson.
Yep, I was going to say the exact same thing. I can pick him out even without binoculars from this side. Although his kick left a bit to be desired. I think he's found maybe Sanderson.
25 against Clark there for a post-marking hug, I believe.
Okay. I wonder if anyone's ever got reported for a malicious hug.
Yeah.
McRae,
overlap.
hand pass, nicely done. Love the 10, working in 10. This is Carlotto, too far out to score, pops it up. Who's the targeting target? Kakure forces. I'm looking for the marking target. I think I got my words mixed up there.
Don't do it, umpire. It was as you called him, Kakure, who dragged the ball back in. Sound like KG then.
Yes.
Strike me pink.
You strike me pink indeed.
As it comes down. Good play there by the second ruck there for PAC. So I forgot his name, Schulz it was. Just bringing it down, but it's dangerous areas. PAC have got the goalkeeper sitting back there. Schulz this way, that way. 1, 2. Dances. Inverted barrel that goes 9.5 metres, but they're in front. Brazel is tripped even though he doesn't fall over, and Bradley will clear again straight across the ground, but they should create some overlap here with Wildman and Clark down the line. They do. Clark, great engine, working down. Fortuitous bounce required. Doesn't get it. Take it off the...
Cleverly done by Ollie Clark to just...
Clever enough,
tap the football away and take the tackle.
Yep.
And take the free.
Yep. Well, you don't get on a sample list, even if it is a top-up player, unless you can actually play this oblong ball made of pigskin
you've
pretty
You've obviously impressed someone at a higher level to get that. Kick into the pocket. Sacred Heart again working well. Lorby, I think that... No, it couldn't be Lorby. Noble it was. Helping with that. They've got it here now. Shock with a bit of space. Chance to take a bounce. To look up. Kakura's at the back.
That's all right.
And that was nothing really that Oscar Clark would do, was caught out one-on-one as soon as that space was created.
Yep. Now, he missed one from this same spot at the other end, if that makes sense, if we had a mirror going. We talked about it felt like they won the quarter, even though scores are level. They had all the play. They're just starting, like we saw in that Port District game, get the ascendancy now, making a bit of hay while the sun's shining, and he'll line up from 30 metres out on the slightest of angles and should put it through. It's a better effort. Umpire doing a bit of work, but he's pumping his fist like a little piston. It's his first, and their fourth, a very handy, our biggest lead of the day now. It is a 13-point lead to the Shockers of Sacred Heart.
Just realised it was, of course. So Forster with 1, Kakura with 1, and Simons with 2, the 4 goal scorers. 13-point lead is a match high, albeit 8 minutes into the second quarter. It's been game in spurts. Shock kicked the first 2, Princes the next 2 to tie it up, and Shock the last 2.
We mentioned all day, Phil, in the pre-match and throughout the week. I wouldn't be surprised if all Sacred Heart got the chocolates here, and that is how it is looking at this stage, isn't it?
And certainly Glenunga, well, if this continues, could the Rams be league leaders tonight? They were, by the way, leading their opponents, Goodwood Saints, 33-1 at quarter time. Ollie Clark has it. He's got some space. He's got some dash. Not sure if that was intended to go that far sideways. Looking for Jolly. The hand pass missed. Trengove at ground level pushes it out in the Wildman direction. But the men in blue are there in numbers.
He's done a full revolution and he's been done, so it's fair enough.
And that's Jolly with the tackle. He'll get the free kick. So you have a feeling this will end up in someone's hand, in a teammate's hands. He's usually pretty good.
I've picked up a couple of moves as well, Phil. We'll come back to them in a minute as he does that 84% by foot leading. Well, he was. I'm not sure. I haven't checked it this week. He was the leading statistically gifted football distributor of this league.
Josh Garrels.
Too far out, I would have thought.
Based on what Sacred Heart did, I would concur.
You would concur.
I would concur, yes.
Yeah. Big kick. It's going to land right in the foot of the goals, and it should be spoiled through. It's not yet. Danger signs here. Brazel reaching at ground level. It's bobbing around. Just get it through, boys. And they get to the man on the line, Clayton Simons. Why wouldn't you go to him? And he looks for and finds Oscar Lovelock.
Gee, they took a long time to get a handle on that football. Sacred Heart.
It's coming board. That should be play on, and it is now. They go backwards in the pocket. I'm interested on lookers, probably offering some advice as well. There's always plenty of that at your local footy grounds. Again, they don't panic. It's Archie Lovelock. No, I've called him Archie. Oscar Lovelock.
Yep. Not the first, won't be the last, I suspect.
No. Or danger kick. Yeah.
Yep.
Causes the stoppage the turnover possibly, but it's still ball to be won, and they're fighting hard at ground level. Trengrove in and under. No surprise there either. Chain of hands though, and Sacred Heart will clear again.
Kick around the body. Mackenzie Slee first to dive collar, so the big man are just going after the ball into some open space. Prince Alfred have some numbers, should be able to deal with this okay. Singleton has time to look up. He gets Perks stretching, but he takes the mark. Now it's onto the run of Curran. Onto Jolly. Jolly's open at 50. This is danger if you're an opponent, because Jolly is touched on the line. That was great work by Zach Sanderson. I would have put Jolly down for a goal for all money.
It's fair to say, just a little bit of hold up. I'm not sure about Breeze, Vickle Breeze, hold up at that end. Normally Jolly wouldn't have had to punch that low, would have just put it up a bit higher, and no worries at all. But it's just favouring, as we said, the right of screen, the archery end where Sacred Heart are going, and that's the way the ball is carrying.
First score for Prince Alfred this quarter, 11 minutes in.
And look at that kick from Carrish. It hits past the wing, so right on the money what we're saying there. That's why we're on the big bucks. Ground level, chain of handballs, Trengove. Oh, good smother. They've read that well. We just tried to be a bit cute there. I'll pick it up here. Ned Brooks, I think. Trengove. How was the engine on the man? He's back there getting it. And there you go. That's Trengove again. So obviously that wasn't, he can't be everywhere. But certainly he is most places with his work rate. It is absolutely sublime.
Wicks is claiming it. He's not going to get the kick though. It's going to be a boundary throw in.
Just on those moves as well. I'm not sure about Jordan Neal. He doesn't appear to be on the ground and has been off for a while.
Yeah.
And Trengrove, absolutely 100% of the centre bounce was in the middle and is staying in the middle. They've sent him in. They need him to give him a lift.
There's still a fair bit of aerial ping pong. Ends up with Lovelock. He's getting a few touches in this second quarter. Goes to a 2-on-1 contest for Princes, and in the end, fairly easily taken by
Curran.
Curran, I suspect.
He made it look easy.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have marked it, but there you go. That's why we're in here and they're out there, Phil.
That's it. Well, they can come in here later once they finish playing if they're good enough.
Mm.
Also, Ethan Moore had it. He was tackled pretty quickly. So the game is just starting to, not peter out is not the right word. We're having a fair few more stoppages now than we were. Players maybe a little bit more accountable for each other.
Just congested it up a little bit, PAC. Slowed it down a touch because it was getting away from them just a little bit. And I think they're going to have to come out. Well, they have to come with the thunder, basically, when they come right back out, because that third quarter is going to be where they've got to get them.
Well, if they've got the breeze and it's as strong as we think it is, yes, they would not want to be turning for home with a deficit to make up.
There's definitely some blow in the trees and around the place.
Wildsman's kick has missed all comers, and that will be Sacred Heart Footy.
Tip for tonight, Phil?
Tip for tonight. What am I doing? I'm doing the rap. I'm preparing my rap tonight.
Showdown 54, mate.
Oh, showdown. Oh, okay. Mate, this is the game of the day.
I know. The state used to stop for the showdown. You don't even care about it. Trengrove, yes. Quick hands, and this looks dangerous. Trengrove, Jolly, get the hand, and then Larson on the end of it. Long left-footed kick. And, it just takes a slight little off-break and hits the post, and they'll clear again.
Couple of almost goals to Princes. One to Jolly, one from Larson. So, Peppering.
Oh, Sleeves just manhandled there by Fox. But we'll have a ball in 45 metres round from the Prince Alfred goal. 2-4 plays 4-3 here. 11-point ball game.
Yeah, we've got the picnic rug. We've got the deck chairs. We've got the gum trees. We've got a blue sky day. Glorious here in the South Australian capital this afternoon. Perks with the thump. Only as far as Sacred Heart. They'll bring it down the clubhouse swing, getting in and taking a really good grab. Lots of Prince Alfred plays. That was Mackenzie Slee on to Wildman. Wildman's got some space. He elects to take a bounce. Lovelock's in pursuit. Starts to close him down a little bit. Wildman with the kick. They've gone from one wing to another. Larson inboards it now to Ollie Clark. Ollie Clark zigs around Lovelock, sends it into the pocket. Just too many numbers there. Pretty easy for Luke Dewhurst to step in and take the grab before it ends up down the Oban tunnel.
Yeah, there's still time for think music out there. You'll get tackled over the line, will he? Oh, umpire says that's holding the ball. So it'll be a free kick to Campbell Wildman, and 25 I'd suggest, is it? No?
Yeah. So we've got some great awards today. We've got the TJ Special Award. Do you give that out to umpires at all, TJ? Nah.
Thought about it. Nah.
Okay. So we've got TJ Special Award with the Archie's footwear. We've also got the Player of the Day, New Balance. As Wildman scoots around the pocket. Looking for a Player of the Day thanks to Nemoth Mouthguards. Nothing too spectacular just yet.
One tidy forward entries from PAC. We don't see that too often, do they? They're normally so sure by foot. And again, just a left-footed tumble punt into the pocket. If Dwayne Russell was here, he would have said it 35 times now. Chaos ball. And quick kick into the goal square. Marked and rushed over, was it, by number 42. That's Luke Dewhurst. He's going all right as well.
Yeah, so that's 3 straight.
Oh, get up.
Silly.
Oh, no, umpire. When you pay it, they'll do it a lot. And that's frustrating to me, but never mind. Move on.
Don't think that was quite what the rule was intended for, but at least in South Australia it's 25, not 50.
Yes.
That's Joel Cross kicking it in the Andrew Bradley direction, but there's a clunk in the middle. And
Sleep names. I'm not sure he had all of it, but
yeah, he's the one awarded it.
Oh,
not exactly the most prettiest of kicks into this pocket. Again, it just seems to be a lot of kick to kick. This is Bradley. He's come up a little bit, trying to entice some skill. In the end, I thought that was Clark's mark. Take it up, player comes in, basically just takes it straight out of his hands. It'll be a stoppage.
The 2 goals this quarter, both for Sacred Heart. And it's probably just dropped off the standard a touch, but just the pressure, I guess. Players getting just a little bit more tired from being fresh early. And it's tough, but it's hard. There's no space and there's no time. And
I suspect it's 2 goals, 5 to Prince Alfred. They have scored 3 behinds this quarter.
Yep.
I can count to 3, okay. Anything beyond that gets a bit tricky. Bradley got Jolly. Jolly's loose. as he was before. This time, too far out to score, so you can't score. You go with a pinpoint pass.
McNamara, is it Pitt or McNamara?
And it's got a 18.
McNamara.
Yep. Now back to Jolly. Jolly from the edge of 50. That kick smothered. Maybe, okay. Yeah, I mean, look, if I had to lose Hayden Jolly, I'd hand pass it to him too, if I was honest. Couple of players slipping over. Mackenzie Slee didn't. Trengove back to Slee.
Was it Slee?
No, it's Slee, yeah, Slee blue boots. Now Trengove white boots. Trengove into the pocket. They're just struggling. Have they found a target inside 50 at all today?
No. Well, Davis got the rebound goal and Brazel got the downfield goal. So, no, it'd be fair to say.
No shortage of inside 50s.
Just the effectiveness of the entry. And again, if they have lost Neil, it's going to hurt them.
Well, they got the clearance on this occasion. This kick towards the pack where Sacred Heart have some numbers and a bit of audacity. Should just run it out of defence.
They're on here.
Now,
they're on down the guts. If they get it to Fox is out.
3 bounces to
Fox
the team saucer.
Fox is out. He's been held. Yes, the umpires picked it up. As soon as he got wrong side of him and they broke that first line, Phil, it was always going to be tough for Slee. And look, he didn't grab him much.
Who was that player of the day with the 4 bounces? Is that Simons? No, it was Kerrish.
Yeah, he's a eye-catching footballer.
That's my player of the day.
Is it? Going early.
How often do you see a player take 4 bounces and break a game open like that?
Doesn't it speak to us as we'll come back to it? Fox lining up. I'm watching the forward. You're watching the midfield. I'm just watching the forward craft, which I always enjoy, defensive craft. And lines up and he just sinks the slipper into it. That is his first and their 5th. And again, biggest lead of the day now. It's out to 17 points, Sacred Heart. And we don't just have an upset brewing. I think it's percolating.
What are the you talk about the stages of a kick. What are the stages of making coffee, TJ?
Well, once it's percolating,
because you confessed about your 3-month suspension. I probably should reply with a Phil confession. I don't drink coffee.
Oh, you're not normal.
I know that. I'm with you. I can't be normal.
No. And again, nothing wrong with the PAC midfield this quarter, but McRae, Moore, Kerrish might be in there as well. They're doing a great job, and the big coach is just throwing himself in.
That was big. PAC had the ball down that end for 4 or 5 minutes. They tried different ways to enter, couldn't get a target.
Yeah. And
then straight down the guts.
That one by Perks on that occasion. I think, they're just undersized a bit, PAC, and getting found out. And they need to get one back. Quick kick round the corner. Again, in front. They'll need another quick kick round the corner. It looks good off the boot. That's a very good play there. Luke McCauley, cometh the man, cometh the moment. 2 players just running at the ball, playing in front, snapping on the right. Not trying to be too cute or clever. Just get it on. Nice goal. And that could well be your player of the day, Phil.
Well, I would say we have one for both now. I mean, the pick-up and the snap was sublime. Some good lead-up work by Trengove to get it to him. And, they needed that. McCauley, 3rd goal for the season, playing for Butte. And then Butte, Pascagoula, a joint junior team on the York Peninsula, leading up to his time now at the Redmen. Margin back to 11.
That'd be the Northeastern Areas League, wouldn't it?
Butte, Pascagoula, that's York Peninsula League.
York Peninsula League. YPFL, we get Kadena and...
Yeah, Wallaroo, Moontas, CMS, Pro, CY Cougars, Southern Eagles.
As they go forward, but well chopped off there. Beautiful read there by the skipper, McNamara. Straight down the guts this time. It's towards the point post. They fly. Ball comes down to ground level. First to it will be McCauley, but it's just pushed out there. Well done by the Sacred Heart defence, just getting out of the immediate danger area.
And I apologise to Ardrossan, the Roos. Not the Crabs. Some people think they're the Crabs for some weird reason, but no, they're the Roos.
Sam Jacobs' territory. That was.
Yep, Ardrossan.
Not there now.
Lovely part of the world.
Was there, I believe.
As is this ground today. Just have a look at the trees above ground level in that pocket, TJ. They're flying around a fair bit. There is a breeze out there for sure.
Best nick I've seen this ground in July, in years, that's for sure. Davis gets it, does he? And it actually coughs it up there in the end. Sacred Heart, they'll run and gun and they're out. They've got runners, they've got overlap. And they're using it well. They need to cut it off. They don't. Fox, blind turns, no one, but it's effective. Gets it down. Oh, they look good. And they've got one-on-ones down in the square. Hesitates, goes for a little hit up, and that'll work. Right in front of him. Now he's going to have to kick for 52 right in front of the commentary area. And do you know what he needs, Phil, Sam Larby?
Encouragement.
He needs a bit of advice from Tommy Javor. And Should have a shot, mate. That's my advice. It'll come. McNamara. Oh, look at that pick up at ground level. And how's the tackle from Snowy? Oh, absolutely brilliant there by Bo McRae. Did I get his name right? Yep, Snowy.
You can't give away a free kick for tackling too hard, can you? As long as it's a legal tackle.
No.
Because that was one hard tackle.
Yeah. What you don't want is broken tackles, so sometimes you need to take a quick kick by Joel Cross. Danger, and Cuz just escorts it over the line. And yeah, they needed the support there for Patrick Singleton was one-on-one. Coming in, Joel's just get the stats up here, down back, comes down, takes the kick. Pretty sure Chris Curran could take the kick fairly effectively as well, but that's why I don't coach Div 1. Oh, there you go. All right. Jolly to Trengove, straight down the guts, 50 out. That'll work.
Yep. Trengove's kick finds a target further upfield.
Is that Perks?
Yeah, I reckon it might be. Yes, it is. Oh, no, it's not. It's a Schulz. Perks and Schulz both have a bit of curly hair, and they both have a 1 at the start, so you've got to be just that little bit careful. Trengove, showing his work rate, further upfield, takes the grab. Yeah. Needs a runner. Where's my runner? I need a runner. No runner provided. So into the pocket. This could be one of the best kicks. No, McRae gets in and gets a hand. They still haven't really found they have not found a marking target inside 50. One, I think, and that was on the edge, and the handball to Jolly, who missed. 3-on-1, and they go to the spare down back in Curran, and he'll set up from behind. They love to do this, but it's all Sacred Heart there in the air, isn't it? That's a big grab. Yep, and it's a very good grab as well. And I reckon he's done himself a mischief there. Little malfunction at the junction for Bo McRae. Hopefully he's okay. He's still down. Oh, no, I don't. Oh, dear. I think he's fallen awkwardly. Hopefully he's winded. That's best case scenario at this stage. He's trying to get up. Umpire saying just stay down. Help's coming. He's putting his right hand up in the air. I'm not sure whether he's trying to signal something or he's just in some pain with that.
Looks like he might have landed on his arm. I don't want to speculate. We've got a replay. The replay, we don't have a replay. It was a big pack though. But he kind of fell vertical. Was it vertical? He's popped his shoulder out.
Okay, yep. That's why he's sticking his arm out. Just pop my shoulder back in so I can keep playing, I think.
Pop my shoulder out, I'll be up for
the old news. Clay Sampson trick. I remember him doing that in the final once.
South
2006. I mean, South didn't play many finals when Clay Sampson was with them, but remember that. He's up, which is good.
Trying to escort him off by putting our arms around the neck.
He's hobbling.
He fell hard. He fell real hard. And with Neil going off, there was obviously that helped the ascendancy of Sacred Heart. McRae going off is only going to help PAC. So you don't want anyone to get injured.
Not a good day for the lightly coloured hair stocks today.
Yeah, the blondes, they get all the advantages in life, but should make light of people that are injured. But
no.
Yeah, here we are. All right. And I'll tell you who else is going all right. Sacred Heart defence today, really impressive. They've worked as a good cohesive unit. Sean Tapp, obviously one of the most experienced sort of captains back there, but this is Seb Kerrish, touch of class. He gives that run, and he's a beautiful left foot user. Goes down the line, kicks it to the coach, I reckon. We're going to get a little bit of that. But no, it's a good mark by the percolator.
Is that what we're going with?
Yep.
Okay.
Nice kick, good hit up, overlap, and that's, well, I reckon the Sacred Heart player's done well, except when he threw his head in the leading first there. Might have been Glorious. Really well to stop, is it Glorious? No, it's McDermott. He stopped the handball, and he's been done. I don't mind that. But the initial stopping of the handball and that break, shake and break. Curran to the pocket, normally a beautiful kick, and it is, and it's a great mark. First real, I'd suggest, contested mark by PAC in their forward line today.
It is. Yeah, I would suggest Brazel's had it, and this is
deja vu.
This is big on numerous levels. The buddy bet, currently 2 goals. This would take it to 3 or 2 if he misses. And the state of the game, I've got Princes on 3-5, so I reckon the margin is 11. This to take it within a kick. What's us?
3-4 to 5-4 on the
on the scoreboard,
on the paper scoreboard being run by the.
Because there was one where they kicked it and the goal umpire signalled a point, and PAC played on very quickly, and I reckon that might have got missed in the scheme of things. But all on this kick, which is across the face and will not score. That is half time. We'll get confirmation of the actual score, but no doubt about it, it is Sacred Heart playing one of their best games of the year, and they've had a few cracking contests. They lead Prince Alfred Old Collegians, the league leaders, by 4:34 to 3:4:22. Your Tommy Javor, Phil Hurd, and the Filming Footy crew will be back after the break.
with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable, so basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
Teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable, so basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable. So basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
And welcome back to Filming Footy Media Centre. Phil Hurd and Tommy Javor. We've just enjoyed some of the food and drink here on Provider, which was very nice.
I didn't get nothing.
And the Kransky was absolutely delicious. But maybe order some more rolls next time, but just a little hint. 1.5 from Sacred Heart Old Collegians came in as the underdogs. The Div 2 team last year, the new kids on the block. And they're showing the league leaders how it's done at the moment. Look, it's any one game still. 5-4, 34 to 3-5, 23. 11-point lead to Sacred Heart. Will it turn out to be a win, TJ?
I suspect it would, based on what I've seen. Premiership quarter, it's all or nothing, I think, for this quarter. For PAC, they need to take the lead with the breeze and get some momentum up. I spoke to a few Sacred Heart parents there. Obviously, as you mentioned plenty of times, the broadcaster, as an ex-Glenelg Junior coach, a lot of the Glenelg Juniors are in there, all really excited. Oscar Lovelock's mum, Paula, said he'd be absolutely thrilled I called him Archie. He gets that a fair bit. So, of course,
Paula. I think I know the same Paula, yes.
Yeah, Paula Brinkworth, Sample's own. Steve Moore, spoke to him as well, and he's pretty happy. Asked him who he thought best was. Always great to get football people's opinion. He said yes, Clayton Simons, Seb Kerrish and Tappy, and he made specific mention, Tappy not in the top 50. What a load of, I think he said Codswallop.
He wasn't in the top 50, was he?
Nah, he made a point of telling me about it. So,
okay.
Probably because he's not a pretty kick,
no,
but
he's not.
Very effective.
Quite right.
Michael Williamson, 700. He would have punched out at half time. Durry, smoke responsibly.
Yeah, he's back out there. No sign of the. Oh no, the Redmen are out there. They snuck in.
There's a whole team of them down there.
Got some halftime scores around the Adelaide Footy League at the moment. Old Ignatians and St Peters, 9th versus 10th. It is St Peters leading by 31 points, 64 to 23.
Yep.
Down at Brighton Road, the Bombers and Port District. Bombers led by 10 points at quarter time. They lead by 14 at half time, 48 to 34. Glenunga, well, having their way with Goodwood Saints, 33 to 1 in the first quarter. The margin has come back to 14 points, 46 to 32. So a good second quarter. So I see Bo McRae's come out. He's walking on the sideline, which is good. Away from the group.
So yeah, they're the two things we need to look at for sure.
Yeah, he's not with the group, which is not great.
No, he's done.
He's done, you reckon? And the final one, Tea Tree Gully and Broadview. That's the tight one. Gully's led by 15 at quarter time. They lead by 2 points at half time. We'll give you all the final scores if we can, and a bit of a ladder at the game's conclusion.
Yep, so we talked about it. McRae was doing a great job on Jolly. Now, McRae is actually trying to do a bit of that intermittent, zigzaggy, how am I going? And he looks as nimble as me currently. It looks ankles doing more, giving him more problem than the shoulder at this stage. The other one that's absolutely crucial. Now the Percolator did a good job going into ruck, and it looks like he's going to have to do another good job. No sign of Neil out there whatsoever. Once he exited, that's when they got control Sacred Heart. So that'll be very interesting to watch.
Just trying to get a look at the Prince's bench, and I cannot.
We're on camera, Phil.
No. I'm actually not looking at a camera.
You're hiding.
I'm looking actually live down the line. But yeah, okay. Maybe not the best thing to do whilst there's a camera on.
We have got the Percolator in there with Jolly, Trengrove, and Bradley. Whilst I spoke to Dave Bradley, Andrew's dad as well. So against Ethan Moore, Doug Proud, and two others for Sacred Heart. Of course, the big ruckman getting first touch there. That is Bradley Noble. We've just lost our screen here. Hopefully, he can still hear me, and it's Clark. But the ball spilled. Well won there. It was good by Sam Lowby. I've enjoyed his game. Not high possessions, but effective every time he gets the ball. And just as he does that, he pushes it down and forces it down over PAC. I love it when they do that to you. Alex Collotto will stand the mark. Again, probably just a bit of advice being given to the PAC player. Long down the line's probably where we'll go. And he does. Ball drops down to ground level. The ground ball gets absolutely crucial in this one. The conditions haven't belied the style of game. Yeah, there's been some nice change, but it hasn't been a lot of high marks and stuff. There's been some good clunks, but all I'll say is, Phil, it's contested.
Yeah, been a good game to watch so far as we've got a ball up on the half-forward flank for Shock. Kakuro's at ground level with Jolly right there.
Yeah. Noble coming off that best on ground against Port as well. He might just be able to get. You can see he's got a clear height advantage.
Actually, Dougie Proud who did that. This occasion over the shoulder will go the way of Prince Alfred.
Ethan Moore's not happy. I've seen that look on the Moore's face when I stuff up back when he was my boss. He's devastated.
Family trait.
Yeah. All right. Down the line, long, high up and down at half cents. Oh, Sean Tapp. Put me in the top 50, Tapp, he says. Come on. Just because I've got a horrendous haircut with some sort of weird reverse top knot, I'm still a very good footballer.
So sort of he's gone the top knot but left a lot hanging.
Yeah, the hanging top knot. The back knot. I don't know what it is.
It's a bit of everything.
It's like the librarian bun at the back. But there's some up, there's some down. Anyway, obviously there's nothing happening in the game. We wouldn't be talking about Sean Tapp's hair that much.
That's it. We're waiting for it to spring back into life in this third quarter. So far, if you just spent a little bit longer on your halftime break than planned, you've missed about 5 stoppages on the outer side.
Then there it
this
is.
One's balls to Brooks, his kick.
Yep.
Now Lovelock, who's met straight away.
I think that's Noble.
I'm going to get them all wrong all day.
Yeah, but that's the important matchup I'm talking about.
It's Noble against the secondary.
Percolator.
Yeah.
Again, Noble just getting the palm, but Perk's following up his own work and does well. And Ethan Moore just wraps him up in a savage cocoon of terror and neutralises the contest, and we'll have a ball up. And there might be a 4 or 5 minute filling out process before anything breaks here, which will probably play into Sacred Heart's hands, you'd think.
Trengrove, a ruck tap. Don't get that many in the stats category too often. Bradley gets it to Larson. Larson got rid of the ball. Someone got rid of Larson. Umpire unsighted on that occasion.
Carey just get his kick back from the smother. It was a good play, I think. Anyway, and looks for and finds in front Sam Lowby. As I said, he's generally been really effective when he gets the ball. Oh, Lowby, goodness sake.
You barely you barely breathed in before that came apart. But I know what you're saying. Yeah. Prince Alfred, they're running it through the middle pretty well. They're at the attacking edge of centre square. 1-on-1 contest, Brazel.
Got to jump.
Battling with Sanderson, and he'll see that spill over for a behind. So right now, our buddy bet, 5.5 goals for Davis and Brazel, is looking a little in doubt. They've got a total of 2.
You'd suggest if PAC win, you'll get it. And if they don't, you won't.
Fair call. Gamble responsibly.
Coming out is Cooper Brinkworth.
78 games, no goals.
Ugly kick. But playing in front, has 5 grabs. Someone else grabbed one of those grabs, though, and that's holding the ball. It has to be. The umpire says, no, just play it on. That's all right. You've claimed a mark that wasn't yours. You've got tackled. You haven't disposed of it. We'll go with play on. That's all right. That's why he's on the big bucks.
You mentioned Cooper Brinkworth. I'm on a little bit on Cooper Brinkworth watch because he's played 75 goals A-grade level for Sacred Heart since 2019, has not kicked a goal.
Well, if he's kicking out, it's going to take his best
It's going to take one heck of a kick, isn't it?
Simons, this way, that away, and just releases. Oh, big fly there. We've asked for a little bit more of that and providing the goods there, Sacred Heart, but not bringing it down. Lovelock. Is it Archie? Is it Oscar? Is it Paula? It's Archie. I'll watch that back and enjoy it. Is it Mr.? I've forgotten his name. No, there you go. Be careful. She's the media manager at the stand.
I was about to say, there's consequences for you.
And Brooks, again, he's been very good. That's not Brooks, sorry. That's Noble. Been very good.
See, now you're getting it from me, aren't you?
Damn you, Phil Hurden. Simons, quick kick, but well read there. Might have been Curran, not sure who it was. But, just flat on the go.
Glorious.
It is. Beautiful. Long kick, is it? Kicks to the coach, which, why wouldn't you? We talk about it all the time. I've liked Mackenzie Slee's game. He's often ended up pairing up with the coach, the big fella, Colotto, and he's been able to curtail his influence. Is he yet to kick a goal? He is yet to kick a goal.
Colotto is yet to kick a goal.
He's always good
most
for 2
of his
to 4,
marks
isn't he?
have been on the perimeter. If
yes.
it was a 3-point sort of basketball.
Jerome Randall
setup,
range.
That's it. He's filling in for Ruck. Very handy fill-in, I might add. Falk will kick it forward to the square. This is where they need a clunk, but they won't. This is Slee again. Blue boots, Slee. Won't concede the behind. Fair enough.
Yeah, they're going to have to make something happen soon. They wouldn't want to leave it to the last quarter, that's for sure.
Well, we did mention that Princes would want to turn from home in front because Sacred Heart are coming home with what we think is a pretty decent breeze.
It looks like it might have dropped off a bit, although some of the trees are absolutely flying. Anyway, watch the play. It's certainly carrying more to the archery end, and they will just mop up here, will they? They will, and it's conceding a rush point.
Kakuro, an intelligent tap, just there was no Sacred Heart player in the vicinity.
Yes, your beloved Eagles, mate, doing well against Sturt.
Excellent. I do Eagles Radio on SCN SA for a couple of weeks. It'd be nice to talk up a win if that happens Tuesday night. Wasn't much happiness from last week. The Crows, absolutely 11 goals to 1 at half-time wasn't pleasant. But back to this game because it is a lot closer. Kerrish, who's in line for maybe something post-game from TJ. We'll wait on that. Beautiful centering kick. Cavalry arrives, though, and Jolly just a nick of time. Back to Glorious, who's had a couple of highlights. Glorious, to the top of the square. Bouncing ball. Perks went up and got it. Coyote went up and got Perks.
Yeah, a bit of WWE about that. Just a little bit of a
if
lariat.
Perks still had the ball, it could have been interesting, but he didn't.
Oh, awful kick, but Jolly makes it work, but the distribution isn't spot on. And Simons, he must have bad BO, that lad. Swings onto his left, and they'll get a shot for goal here. And it's that man, Lovelock. What's his first name?
Oscar. He's kicked 5 goals in his 12 games, including a goal against Princes last time they met.
He's a very good footballer. Can be a little bit grumpy. Some people have referred to him as a bit of a grouch. Oscar, the grouch. Okay, 45 metres out he's going to line up for. Huge kick here for Sacred Heart. Runs out to the right, and that's where it goes. So often we see that. Probably just outside his range, to be fair. And it's going to be spilled out over. We'll have a throw in just a metre or two around from the goal post. And anyone who has a multi-bet in the AFL, every multi-bet in the world is about to die with the Dockers about to upset Geelong.
Okay, gamble responsibly.
Yeah, I'm never gambling again.
What are you going to do next week?
Oh, buddy bet. I will love the buddy bet.
Oh, buddy bet, okay. Yeah. Kakura, hand pass out. Oh, that tackle, Lovelock, it wasn't high.
No.
Lovelock sort of indicated it might have been.
He lost his legs then.
Yes.
For no good reason, like he was on
and
Mount Permisnow.
And the umpire in that case was definitely on point.
Excellent umpire.
And gave the holding the ball free that it truly was. Oscar Clark in the Melbourne Street pocket has the run of Curran. And now it creates some space. Bradley, here's some familiar names. Looking at here for Wildman, he's taken the mark, and all of a sudden it's on the attacking edge of centre wing. Another loose player. This is Wicks. 55 out. That's the best coast-to-coast play we've seen from Princes all day, as Gurrell has marked, and Josh needs to kick this to give the reward for the excellent transition.
Yeah, he's strong body, Gurels. He's not going to have any trouble with the distance at this end. Chester Forster on the mark. Chester Forster used to be 4'2". He has had one hell of a growth spurt. He's going to kick from 45 on probably a 45-degree angle, Phil. And it's an ugly-looking kick where he's just poked at it. He's gone near side, and he's just about taking out the people sitting next to the scoreboard.
Does not register as a score.
Yeah, Chester Forster might have permed up as well. There's plenty of curls happening there.
You get that curly that naturally.
Yeah. Can I ask him?
No, don't. Ignoring you as he should.
No, probably didn't go as loud as I could have
I'm
done.
just not sure what about the player interaction live during a quarter. But anyway.
He's coming near me.
He's coming in.
Yeah.
All right. May wait for another break of play because he's got to get into the play. Big fly. That was almost a great mark by Curran. Fox had it and lost it. Nice pickup by Pritchard. Perks sends Princess forward. The pack descends. Spills to the front. Redmen have some numbers. Here comes the Sacred Heart defence.
Yep.
Zachary Sanderson picks up the crumbs.
Wildman.
Now it's a hot footy 35 out. Wildman lays a tackle. Fox met it. Did he have the ball? Umpire says...
Makes up for the one he missed a while back.
Just stop, he says.
Yeah, Pritchard giving away the free on Fox. Fox got a one really high before it wasn't paid.
So we're live on Fox.
Very good, Phil. Very good. We're in the filming footy studio. He's gone 40 metres backwards. In my rulings, that shouldn't be a mark. Should be play on. Oh, no. Oh, he has done himself some Barney rubble there. Big trouble. And if he could have his time again, Luke Dewhurst, he'd choose the other 99 options he had and not the one where you kick it to T-Bone Brazel 40 metres out uncontested. That was horrendous. That's our anti-player of the day.
Do we do a
No.
an old radio station I used to work for, we had clangers.
Yeah.
And we got a car repairers.
Okay.
So it was the X-Crash clanger every time. And that would be right up there. Won't mention the car company until they give us some money.
Yep.
Big one for the buddy bet. Getting a bit behind here. Big one for Princess. Brazel from 50.
Nice kick. Has missed.
It's missed.
Look good. The goal umpire stood in the middle of the goal. It's very rare they stay in the middle of the goals to signal a point. He did, and that is a huge let off.
Because sometimes that's what you do. You don't follow the ball. You follow what the goal umpire does because he's following the ball.
Katie, if you're listening, all our accounts are now empty. Geelong have killed us. $1.06. I threw them in every multi on every platform. And anyway, that's why you must gamble responsibly. And if you're going to lose money, lose it to a buddy. Buddy bet.
Yeah, that's...
I've worked that in nicely, haven't I?
Get them, after you've lost your money, get them to shout you a drink.
I've had an absolute Barry. I've had a Barry Crocker, mate. There's just so much.
Oh, as you said, who would tip Freo?
Sucked in Geelong, I guess. Anyway, well done, Freo.
Well, upset could be on here. Not so much the buddy bet. Looking good for TJ at this point. Would have been Prince Alfred, rightfully with one win and a draw. With one loss and a draw.
Let's be honest, we wanted to see 15 goals to 14, but that's not in the... no one gave the memo to Alex Collotto saying that. He doesn't care if his team kicks 6 goals to 2. He just wants to win this game of footy against the top team.
If you said that Sacred Heart have allowed as many goals now as they've allowed in total their past 2 games, you'd say, gee, it's a high-scoring affair.
Yep.
But Sacred Heart's defence has been under plenty of pressure. They've worked through most of it, but here comes another threat. The kick to the fat side. Brazel tries the bump umpire, and just as Brazel was thinking, where are these goals?
It was a bump, wasn't it? He did bump him. He might have been in the back, but he's called a push. That was some Trengrove magic that set that one up, Phil, as well. Again, they'll just take some time out here. Simons,
that's
number
where
20.
Princes are dangerous. I still get the feeling that if Prince Alfred can get 10 minutes where they dominate, they'll win this game.
Yeah, Tommy McDermott. I think, I'm not sure if it's the son or nephew of Chris. Nice looking left foot, but chopping in there nicely was Luke McCauley, and just he's going to create a repeat frontal stoppage, which is crucial here. They haven't had too many of these today, and the Sacred Heart defenders have done their job.
Well, Sacred Heart have scored 1 behind, battered by Prince Alfred, who've scored 2 behinds in the 13.5 minutes of this third quarter. Filming footy, giving you the Adelaide Footy League Div 1 game of the round.
Yes. Good tap there again, and he's becoming absolutely crucial in this contest, Brad Noble, since the exit of Jordan Neal, because he is controlling the ruck and where the ball is going from these many many clearances. Stoppages. Sorry.
Which do lead to clearances
Yes,
after he's done the ruck tap.
Yeah, maybe I threw too many minis in and confused myself. Too many minis. All right, and another stoppage.
Yes. Hopefully followed by another clearance, but we'll wait. We'll wait on that.
Again, palms it down, but they're reading it pretty well. And you've got guys like Tringrove in there; they will read it well. Yeah. And I'm not Josh Perks is certainly having a crack. He's put himself in there, and they'll get it out this time. Clark, how is that?
That was Lovelock with the smother.
Yeah. Bradley, quick hands. Larson will swing on the left, will he? He should hit someone up, and he does. Garrels, is it? Joshua? And no, it's out in the full. They just can't quite connect and can't, take
You mentioned it earlier, T. It's just a little bit off. And when you say you're off, it's not that, it's just a little bit.
Yep, and the pressure of Sacred Heart certainly gets. That kick just says it's still probably, this is the scoring end. Quick spoil running onto it. They get there first, Clayton Simon. He's got a good turn of pace, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And
maybe that's why we always find him without an opponent, is he's got the pace and wherewithal to break away, but only as far as Curran.
Well, the other theory is that he stinks, so I'd say it's probably his pace.
And Tap says, thank you very much. And that...
Put him in the top 50.
I mean, yeah, needed someone to contest that. At least spoil Abercrombie front and centre.
Yep. Even at the North 14s, that we wouldn't let that happen. We did, but we coached them not to.
Coach Javor would talk about it afterwards.
Yeah, and there's the young Sacred Heart Reptiles out on the outer side there.
What?
Sacred Heart Reptiles, they offer plenty of advice and plenty of feedback and have plenty to say. Probably lovely your lads when you're on their team.
Because I saw Sacred Heart play Princes at Princes on my drive to get here.
Don't forget the Sam Gray incident that they ignited. And you're gone, son. That's a great tackle, and he's accidentally kicked his opponent in the head, which might be McDermott, is it? No, it's correct, Kerrish. He just doesn't look like he should be playing centre half back. If he is indeed,
that's right.
Lovelock's really coming to it this quarter. Oh, just cutting it off nicely was Wildman. Hasn't had his best day yet, but not too late to shine, young man. Love to give him another award just to hear him fire up again.
I reckon he's had a haircut during the week. I reckon there's a few of the Prince's boys that have had haircuts.
Knew they were going to be on the stream team match.
Well, they were on the stream team last week.
Andrew Angel would always cut his hair every time they had the
Andrew Angel, he was...
Old helicopter punts.
That's it. He was always a
big... McNamara, you're standing the mark the other way there, champ. Now he comes round to the correct side.
So we have 17 minutes almost gone. It's been a goalless quarter.
And again, well done for Larson for creating a contest. If it was Larson, might not have been Larson.
That's Cooper Brinkworth with the kick only as far as Curran. So we're just playing kick to kick from centre wing to about 30 metres out.
They just need to lower their eyes and hit one up.
And again, how many marks have we had from Prince Alfred inside their forward 50 today? I think I can remember one of consequence.
3. 2 of them to Brazel, one by accident when they turned it over.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah. Okay.
And
how many marks to Prince Alfred going inside 50?
Yeah, a couple. It's hard. It is hard. And we talk about this all the time. What we do is challenging because we don't have stats in front of us.
Yeah.
So, and especially when you're doing the awards, very nerve-wracking. But here's the man who's having a great quarter. Stats will not. Lovelock tries to kick it to the coach's advantage, Colotto, but they'll clear again. One thing will say it's Slee. Blue boots, right?
Yes, the one.
Down long kick. Larson will lead onto it, but it's 3-on-1 there. The story of the quarter. Kerrish, this way, that away. He's slippery. He's classy. He's a left-footed magician, this boy. And he just kicks it to a contest, though.
Well, he's already got the player of the day, possibly, with his 4-bounce effort.
Glorious. Beautifully done to the coach. You don't mind that, do you? Sorry for dropping you off. But
I'm looking at it and thinking, hang on.
Are they going in defence?
How are they that open? Are they kicking back? Have I got my ends mixed up? That's turnover footy, isn't it?
Yep, and Glorious just gets on it, and he didn't stuff around, long and direct, and will that open the valve up, and perhaps we see them do what they did to Port District, but PAC just don't look on today. Now, I watched him in the pre-game warm-up. I went over and watched for a couple of minutes. Nothing different about their preparation. They look good. They were connected. They were talking. They had energy. Sometimes, though, the team just gets the better of you, and that's what's happened today.
Well, Princes have got 7-8 minutes left of the breeze, and then it's Sacred Hearts and a 16-point lead. in the final quarter. So this is...
And Simons is indeed on the wing. It took us 2 quarters to work that out, but...
Okay, because we never checked at this point. I've also got Forster on the other wing, which is interesting.
McDermott just overruns the ball there.
So who's his opponent on the wing?
Might be McNamara, but I'm not sure. Good tap there again.
Ollie Clark.
Ollie Clark, yep. And he's just giving him too much space.
Now that's a wingman thing, isn't it? That of all the positions that don't line up on each other, it is the wingman, and they back themselves to win their share of contests and damage more than what the other player damages.
Fox to Proud, ugly kick, but just gets it going forward, keeps it going forward, and they try a kick out of mid-air. Again, PAC and Larson again down along down the line, hits up Macaulay. Now they've got time and space this time. Garrels is the overlap man. Sacred Heart pushing back hard. Larson will be the furthest man in the chain if they can get it there. He is out. He's a long way from him, and they just chop it off. Yep. They read it well.
See, that wasn't a hand pass to a runner. That kick came off a standing start.
That might be the man that... It's either Noble or Brooks.
Yeah, I reckon it's Noble.
Been good, hasn't he? Second half?
Yep. Yeah, they worked out who he is.
It's a lot easier to appreciate him.
We will help each other out through this, TJ. It's okay.
Yeah, no, it's not that. No, it's I just because Katie gave me her. It's not a buddy bet account. She gave me her account this week. So can you turn this money over so we can withdraw it? Because you get all these bonuses. And I've turned it over to right straight into the Sportsbet wallet.
That's it. There you go.
Had a stinker. Buddy bet.
The buddy bet woman. Okay, we're back in the middle of the centre wing. Here's Redman in some numbers again. The hand pass that frees up a player.
He's out.
They're starting to get a few of these, and they got the one-on-one contest, and Juice Davis has taken the mark.
Momentum's a funny thing in football, and if he kicks this, it will change all of a sudden, and they'll get some energy, they'll get some enthusiasm, because we're at the 21-minute mark of the third. Bit of pressure on this kick, and again, we shouldn't. The reason why I'm talking about an AFL game and betting is because it is the upset of the year for mine. Fremantle, no Fife, no Darcy, and they've knocked off Geelong, who needed to win. So, yeah, that's interesting.
The context of this game, this is massive. 16 points the margin.
Well, if he doesn't kick this, I think we are going to see an upset today. I'll go as far as to say that, because everything Sacred Heart have done has been fantastic. But you'd expect him to kick it? Well, he's gone over the mark, I reckon. But it doesn't matter. He's calm, he's cool, he's Jaden Juice Davis with his second and their fourth, and just breathing a little bit of life into this game. But again, I just don't think you're going to stop Sacred Heart from scoring and have PAC. They've only kicked 4 for the day. Have they got another 4 or 5 in them?
Yeah, what do you reckon is going to be a winning goal tally here? 9?
Yep, 9. You're home for sure.
8 maybe.
Yeah.
8 maybe. Yeah. Jaden Davis, number 48 in the top 50. And Brazil, number 38. At the moment, they're having a little race between them. Who's the leading goal scorer? Davis with his second goes to 38. Brazil's on 35 goals for the season, albeit Brazil gave Davis a 4-game head start. Colotto's gone in the ruck, which is fascinating.
Quick here's one more.
Proud with the clearance. We've had 1 goal each. And what by definition, therefore, is a low-scoring third quarter, and we're into time on. Next goal is going to be critical for me. There's probably our player of the game. With that one to take it away, Simons with the kick has dobbed it. That is his third.
Some sort of game he's playing for.
He is playing one heck of a game. Not just the 3 goals on the score, but he just bobs up absolutely everywhere.
The other thing is that we obviously, the analytics specialists, and we have a look at that goal. They analyse the game. They do all the stats, so they're ready for us by 7 o'clock for your weekly wrap and my weekly wrap on between the posts. And it's not going to be hard to follow him. He's an easy player to see because of his shape and his colour of his hair. We're going to see tomorrow. We're going to look. He's going to have over 30 touches and 3 goals.
Yep.
The old 30 and 3 will get you every time.
Yep. So we do have our awards to give. New Balance, the $100 voucher for the best on ground comes with the iconic Dartfish beanie. Play of the day, the Neomorph mouth guards, and also the Moseley Bar and Kitchen best team man. That's the voucher from the Moseley. Of course, TJ's got his Archie Sandals special award to throw in as well.
Yep.
All that coming up post-game.
Centre break won by shock there. We talked about momentum, and Davis gets the goal. There's not a lot of energy from the PAC group. They get it straight back. It's just everything screams Sacred Heart for me. The margin probably not as big as it could be.
The first quarter into the breeze, they drew. This quarter into the breeze, they're winning at the moment. Only by a few points, but that's all you have to do. You talked about the midfield not having to win today, but draw level, which they're doing.
Oh, they're
because of the ruck advantage they're getting.
I think they're winning, yeah. Moore's come into it really good. Lovelock's been great this quarter. Kerish is off half back probably, but his run and carry's been great. Simons has been the dominant player on the ground from his wing.
Good summary. We're all ready for the post-match.
Yeah, shut it down.
There's Trengo's hand pass to the pocket again. Second, just a soccer off the ground.
Just across.
Went across the face of goal. It's still live.
The elevated tap from Fox, that is, in other words of saying that is the throw.
Yeah, the elevated tap. Fair point. Thought for a second that was a soccer goal off the ground.
Yeah, it looked like it was going through from our angle. They'll go long down the line, PAC, will they? They look for a player, but it's in the end, it's to a pack.
Oscar Clark-Glorious comes in and ensures that ain't coming out.
Glorious, and again, obviously, some of these Glenelg boys I'll watch probably a bit closer on this. 7 or 8 tackles today. That's a great effort from a young player. When you get that energy from a young player, and their tackling and their pressure has been as good as I've ever seen it from Sacred Heart.
Well, he was part of that turnover, converted into a goal that was Shock's first for the third quarter.
Grengrove hasn't stopped trying and hasn't stopped running. He had plenty of the ball today. Finds Jolly. He's been a bit quieter. Again, you'd expect them, and they do. They go right across, and it opens up. They've just got to go shake and bake time, baby. And they've got the outlet, and they're on. Loose men everywhere. Davis has pushed all the way up, just forward of the wing there. No, it's not Davis. Sorry, it's someone who's just hit a horrible kick inboard, and it might be Luke McCauley. Rankin. No,
Rankin was the marker. I think you're right, McCauley with the kick.
And he finds, who's that number 9, Sacred Heart?
Yeah, who's that? We haven't seen him all day, have we? Clayton Simons is just adding to that rather large possession tally as the ball goes out of bounds. Glorious day, and I'm just enjoying looking out the window here of our van and seeing blue sky.
It is nice, the photosynthesis.
And sunshine on the ground.
Vitamin D. And the ground's, as I said, great, Nick. It's been a good game of footy. Intense. Hot in the kitchen.
We were never expecting it to be a high-scoring affair. These two teams play their defence and their accountabilities too well. Prince is just moving it forward without getting a possession. Coming in to stop that is Ethan Moore. He's tackled instantly, and it will be a stoppage. About 80 out, 70 out. Siren goes. That's a big win for Sacred Heart in that quarter. They go to 7-5. That's 47. They kicked
2 goals, 1.
2 goals, 1 indeed. And Prince Alfred, with the breeze, scored 1 goal. It is Sacred Hearts to lose. They lead by 16 points at three-quarter time. You're watching the Adelaide Footy League. Thanks to Filming Footy.
Teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable. So basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
Welcome back. There's the huddle there for Sacred Heart. They'd be starting to get a bit excited. A 16-point lead. It was all tied up at quarter time. It was Sacred Heart by 11 at halftime, and they won the third quarter into the breeze to lead by 16 points. 7-5-47, Prince Alfred 4-7-31. TJ, what's going through your mind when you're thinking of tactics and best players for both sides?
We'll take it one at a time here. Tactics, PAC. Do you want to go down by 3 or do you want to go down by 6 and give yourself a chance at winning the game? They've got to take it on. They've got to go through the guts, chain the handballs, run it. The breeze isn't ridiculously strong, but it's certainly the long kicks are carrying in the air down to the right of screen archery end or towards the fill. Trent Grove was really good. He just needs a few mates to help step up, get some of that play in the middle. The problem they've got is with no ruckman, no lead ruckman now. It makes it very difficult because Noble is dominating. That was the tactics side. What was the other question?
Best players.
Best players. Okay, yeah. Look, for me, there's one clear best and ground standout. You're watching the game. Clayton Simons, Kerish is in there. Tap down back has been an absolute general. Lovelock, very good in the second and third. PAC, Trent Grove, probably the leading possession winner, I'm guessing. Curran, very good down back. And then you could throw a blanket over about 18 of them.
Alrighty, the scores around the other ground.
Oh, I love this bit.
Old Ignatius St. Peter's, they're 14 minutes into the third. They're going to have to turn some lights on down there at that rate. It is St. Peter's by 23 points, 69-46. Yep. Brighton and Port Districts, they're in the final quarter, already underway about 4 minutes in. Brighton by 1 goal, 62-56 against Port District. Tea Tree Gully and Broadview, a tight one with consequence. 3/4 time, Broadview leading Tea Tree Gully by 4 points. And Glenunga, Goodwood Saints, one-way traffic, Glenunga leading by 50 points, 90-40. If those scores hold, Glenunga will be top of the table tonight. But there's a quarter to go here for Prince Alfred. Can the Red Men launch a comeback?
Yep, they've broken the glass and they've thrown the big names in. Jolly, Trengove, Bradley into the middle for PAC. It's go time for them. Perks versus Noble. Noble with a backhand tap, and at ground level fights after it and we'll have a repeat stoppage, and now they'll all gather around. It will be interesting to see how Sacred Heart play this. You just see Simons just drifting to the back of the contest as that defensive cover, and they get the break again, do they? They do. Pritchard takes the handy mark, though, and the field should open up for him. This will tell a lot about how they're going to play this. What does he do with this? He looks to pierce the ball, but it's 3-on-1 to Bradley, and they win the ball back, Sacred Heart. Nice little left foot hit-up kick. He's had a quiet day, Kokuro, but he always looks dangerous around the ball. Done a good job on him there, has Singleton. Again, he's not in any great rush, is he? And he kicks it high and long to the tall timber. It actually carries them. And at ground level, here it is, Lovelock. He's dangerous. He'll spin, will he? He doesn't spin. He just takes the tackle. And we'll have a stoppage 35 metres out, 30 metres out. Right in front of our broadcast area, Hillfield. And that's the ideal start for Sacred Heart. 16
points, 3 goals puts you in front. We know Prince Alfred at their best they've got the offensive firepower to do that. Sacred Heart have kept them at bay. There's a kick around the body. Marked on the goal line. And it will not be a score. It's taken by Slee, directs some traffic, tells Brooks where to go, literally, onto Curran, and Curran will kick it out of the pocket.
Sod off, Brooks, would you?
You go over there.
They find Larson, and that's probably, again, a little tale of what they're going to do. They've got to run, they've got to take it on, then they'll come inboard, look to open up the angles. They've got players out on the near side. Trengrove, he's the one that'll start the run. Pritchard just behind the player, though, but they're out if they use it smartly. Half-distance kick, if that, finds... I've just talked about him, Singleton. He's been all right today. He's certainly done his job. Hasn't had great volume of touches.
Not his job.
No. Well, you always want to get the ball. But,
yeah.
And you give him a rap, but probably better that he hasn't had a great deal of touches because he's just burnt the ball where you don't want to burn it. But, again, I don't think Sacred Heart are in any great rush. They're going to happy to take some time, control the ball, handball there. Again, they look for that hit-up kick. It's a tough kick to the coach. A fair set of dukes on him, doesn't he?
Mackenzie Slee, one of the great defenders at Sandford level in his time, was right there and could not stop the vice-like group of Alex Carlotto.
Who did Slee play for?
Roosters.
And that's a stupid question for me. And that is just a great mark there. And again, we haven't seen a lot of this man today, Ned Brooks. You've called his name a lot. Hasn't been him, though. But they don't get any shorter. And he's now lining up 30 metres out. Doesn't have to be your day. It could be your moment. And if he kicks this, they're 22 points up. And
2 goals last week.
Yeah, PAC have only kicked 4 for the week. So he's going to line up 30 metres out, slide angle. Good footballers put these through, and I expect him to. And he gives it plenty. Well, umpire does some work, but they're all celebrating a point. So that's unusual.
Well, you were almost right behind that, TJ. I got a wall between me and the goals. What did you see?
Saw the goal umpire wave it for a point, so that's what it must have been. It was close. It was very close.
Jolly takes it out towards the Sacred Heart kids in the pocket there.
The Reppies.
The Reppies. I'm not going to ask you where the name came from. Just
Reptiles.
The Reptiles.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I don't want to know.
Oh, dear.
And that's going to be very close to 8 on the full, which it is.
Not Oscar Clark's finest moment.
That's a couple of poor turnovers in succession. You have to say that's 2 turnovers not under pressure.
Yeah, and very un-PAC-like, if you will. They're the best, the highest percentage of efficiency. I talk about efficiency all the time with the Dartfish stats, and they're up there with your Bradleys and your Jollies, and doesn't happen today.
High kick. Slee under big pressure. Has got to get rid of it. It doesn't seem to. It's like tapping it to himself. We never really actually had full possession, so I'll ball it up.
One thing and this is a huge wrap on Shock. I haven't said this all year. They're 22 points up, are they? So they're only 17 points up. I don't see PAC winning this game of footy.
They would have been 22 if they had kicked the goal. Oh, and they're going to get a chance to do that right now.
Yeah, he certainly didn't hurt the high contact, did he? Who is that? That's is it Lauby? As I said, crafty forward. He's got good forward craft. He's pushed up. He's worked really hard today. And let's say he shortened himself or lowered himself. You just can't take him high. He certainly got hit high, so I think it's a free kick, but they do it so well. Did it in my day, you'd be dead. But anyway, fast approach. Bit of work again by the goal umpire. They go to celebrate. This time he says, there's 2 fingers. There's the ball game.
Was that a Bronx cheer?
It was indeed a Bronx cheer from the Shock supporters next to us, who are obviously in better position than the goal umpire for the last one.
Yeah.
Looked like it might have been a goal. So that is his first, isn't it? Lauby, and they've got all these guys that can bob up. Kakuro, Carlotto, Lauby, Simon's obviously with 3, and yeah.
8 goals by 6 different goal scorers.
You know, last week I used the words dialogue and having him in the conversation. Are we talking about, have they just taken the step to just about being the team to beat? Because their last 2 weeks have been sublime.
Well, they announced their arrival when they beat Port District at Largs. Oh, hello. Sacred Heart are here, and they're looking pretty good. And then they repeated the dose with a massive defensive effort 2 weeks ago. And their only loss, as I said, 15 points is not a mega loss. It means you were competitive for most of the day. And you just don't see that consistency. We were talking about mulligans last week, if you remember.
Yeah.
You know, team having an off day.
And, I mean, PAC knocked off Port District at Port District by 5 goals last week. That's That's no mean feat. So this isn't an out-of-form team they've knocked off. And Hayden Jolly's just been caught holding the ball. Tell me times you can remember that happening.
Yeah, not out of fingers yet.
I think this game's about to break open, Phil. And Chris Curran, just doing Chris Curran things there. Beautiful mark.
Well, I'm trying to remember the last time it was in Prince's forward 50, and it would have been
Not this
maybe
quarter.
it's been once, I think. No, maybe not.
I don't think it has, mate.
I think you might be right. Because right now, every time they get it, this is the third time. Let's see if they can clear it out of here. This is going to set Slee a challenge, which he's up for, getting it around. Tap on this occasion. Now they're off. Now they're Oscar Clark. Now it's the inboard kick you talk about. Miss the target.
Forgot to
for
jump.
Schultz. Tap is there. They'll work it around. Simons. Carlotto's the lead man. Here it comes. Overcooks him, and even as tall as Alex Carlotto, he wasn't going to get that one. Curran under pressure. McCauley under incredible pressure.
They're just too good today, mate. That's all there is to it. Sometimes you've got to tip your hat, and they're outstanding. Hit up kick, Kakuro. Now, he's looking for a little bit of Tommy Javor advice here. 50 out. Take the 30 seconds, Tristan. Have a shot. Put it through and celebrate. He's taking it on board. He's taking it on board. If this goes through, expect a little bit of feedback. Tristan Kakuro from right on 50 for the filming footy crew. Can he lodge it through? Awkward kick, awkward ball drop. Dangerous on the square. Lovelock! Lovelock! Goal ski! And that is game ski. And I can't help think that I had something to do with that, mate. Sorry, Phil.
Well,
let's have a look at the
my
replay.
initial thought was Jacko would have hated that male commentator kicking it that close to the line. Too easy to spoil over.
And it's a goal.
But it's one of those 1% things that even Prince's struggle there. Lovelock, it fell in his lap right by the goal and says, thank you very much. His 7th goal for the season. And I'm with you. I reckon that is game, set and match. 29-point lead.
Yep.
The Rams look to be, if they can survive against Goodwood, and they were leading by 50 points at three-quarter time. We are going to have a new league leader tonight.
Yes, and a great man once said not that long ago, they just seem a bit off, and that's a great example of it. Goal on the goal line, Sacred Heart.
I mean, there was 4 red jumpers around that goal line, 1 blue, and it lobbed where the blue was.
Yep.
Back in there was another bit of aerial ping pong. Trengove another ruck tap. Now let's see if this game opens up a little bit. Pritchard, are we going to see an inside 50 for PAC? Yes, we are, but not to a target. All there is blue. It's like they've got an extra player. Here, there's the blue. There's the Prince Alfred. Tackle holding the ball. They want to go on with it. Umpire says no. Go back and take it. Gorels with the free kick. Too far out to score. In the shadows of the big gum trees here at Park 9. Into Dead Man. I'm going to call it Dead Man's Pocket. Because I've yet to see a goal from there. We've been here a few times in recent years. It's going to be a throw-in. No, it's not. Sorry. Correction. It's Sacred Heart ball. Maybe not touched going out of bounds. This kick with the breeze sailing a little bit. Carlotto, gee, he can get up high, that guy. Some ground level. It spills to Pritchard, trying to find Jolly. He has to go to ground level. That's a great pickup. Oh, my goodness, that is a great pickup. The kick towards the goal line is going to land in the arms of Brazel. Lockie McNamara, the recipient of that. But Hayden Jolly just down under ball hand pass in one motion to the player running past. Brazel gets the goal. That's his second.
Buddy Bet comes to life.
It's 4 goals. 5.5 is the margin. You've got a goal buffer still.
Just that little piece of magic from Hayden Jolly. We just call it cleanliness, don't we? Just so clean. Balls between the knees, and normally people wouldn't want balls between the knees, but on that occasion, clean as a whistle. That'd be uncomfortable, wouldn't it? Anyway.
I don't want to think about it, to be honest, TJ.
Now, what Sacred Heart have done well when they have kicked a goal PAC, they've counted straight away.
They have, straight away.
Yep, and just extinguished any flame of a comeback. Charles? Again, it's just a big fella, Noble. Just that tap working in front. Foxy lady. No reference to his haircut there. But
no.
He's 55 out. He's gone back to Melbourne Street. He's ordered a falafel. He's stopped in for a coffee at one of the cafes. That's longer than Michael Holding.
Taking a pint at the odd line.
Legitimately a 40-metre. He's going to get done for running too far on the run-up. And he runs out to the right. It'll probably go that way now. Well, he gives it a fair ride. He does get the distance.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And he takes the time out of the game he needed to. And that awkward 23-point margin, but I just don't see anything but a Sacred Heart win from here. They've been fantastic today.
Well, Sacred Heart fans, next week, special game next week. It's the Battle of Brighton Road at Brighton Road. I'll explain that in a second because Sacred Heart are going forward again. Fox is there at ground level. Spills free, going in hard was Proud. He's taken straight away. Yeah, it'll be a stoppage. Next week, Sacred Heart Old Collegians, Brighton Bombers at the Glenelg Oval, Stratorama Stadium. No Sandford next week.
Nice.
So get out there and support the Adelaide Footy League. That'll be a big game.
All PAC behind the boy. Clark smothered by, don't tell me, he's gone the inside out. Jackie doesn't quite get the purchase though. And it'll be Curran once again. You can't fault Crick's Curran's games. He has been fantastic. Finds Slee.
Well, they're running a bit more in packs, but is it working for them? Out to Singleton now, half-back flank. He looks inboard, wants to go inboard, does, to McNamara. Let's have a think about that. Yep. You call some footy.
You're having a think about
I can't think of commentator at the same time. It's too hard.
Yeah. Pritchard will go. He'll look for the overlap here. Good. Well, just to corral him there, the shock opponent. But they do get it forward to Brazel. Brazel overlap to Clark. Clark quickly, but he's kicked it to a swarm of blue. And the one red gets in there. The red versus the blue. I sound like Kelly Underwood, but they are actually called the Reds. Sacred Heart. I don't think they're called the Blues, but there you go. There's that. And we'll have a ball up 14 metres out. But it's just not happening quickly enough for PAC in my book. 13-minute mark final quarter. 13 to play, you'd suggest. And I think Sacred Heart have got all the answers today. They've won the midfield. They've certainly won the wings. And they look like they've had the more effect. Well, they've won it all around the ground, really. Having said that, we've just had a quick mark, have we? And it's Jaden Davis, which could bring this game back to life. 2 in a row would certainly change the colour of the day.
You're saying about the buddy bet.
Yep.
I've done my player of the day. I'll leave you to think of the team player. Yep. Is that how we're doing it?
Yeah. You're the player of the day by
player of the day.
And does it say what it's for?
Seb Carish, 4 bounces through the centre.
Yeah. Running bounce. Don't see a lot of that with the frontal pressure they have.
No, and he found a one-on-one target who kicked the goal, so it all went well.
Jaden Davis, the left footer. And should convert this and breathe some life into this one. He's put it to the near post and it just sneaks in, does it? It does. High fives all around. Give us some love with your fans and your fingers, Juice. There's 10 for me, 10 for you, and 6 from the umpire. We've got a 3-goal ball game, Phil. Is that right?
Let's have a look. I got 6. Yep. 9-7 to 6-7. Sometimes it's just a case of has it updated or not. And I'm missing who got the last Sacred Heart goal?
It's 9, isn't it? The last Sacred Heart, Sam Lauby. You got Sam Lauby?
Yes, I have. Okay. I've missed one.
Mine are all right there. Lovelock, maybe on the goal line?
Yeah, I got him. I got my 9 to 6. Okay.
Okay. And the ball at ground level. They need one clearance here, Sacred Heart. Maybe just snuff it out. And in front, getting the ball was Cross, was it? Fox fumbles at ground level, but does get it back. Chester Forster will come in ball with a cute little right footer. Doesn't hit the target. He handballs to himself. We'll give you a stat for that one. Don't worry about that. Thanks, Prouty. And the umpire, it's in the back. That is a huge decision. I'll actually take him off, so I'm not commenting on the actual decision itself. And he runs. He takes off quickly. He has a flying shot from 45. I think it's near side. But, Phil, it's a handy point. I know you don't like me saying that in the first minute of the game, but...
At this point, I would agree that it's probably handy. 19 means...
You'll subscribe to that one?
4 scoring shots to tie or win.
Yeah, 10 to play, you'd suggest, and I think they might... they've got one right in front of us here in Wicks. He will go to him now, won't he? No,
if you can see him.
Yeah, it's the sun right in his eyes, right in front of me. And he goes, probably going to go up the guts, is he? Takes his 10, laces out, but chopping in, beautifully read there, is Joel Cross, that experience coming to the fore. The other thing he'll do with his experience, he points at the goals. It's not AFL. He'll take more than 30 seconds. He'll probably take 45, and then he'll probably chip it to someone.
Yep.
Or he'll have a shot, one or the other. He's got a couple of options out there as well.
Crossy's kicked 5 goals from his 10 games. Played for Western Districts last year, playing overseas on Kangaroo Island.
Very good. Community bounce this week, Kangaroo Island Footy League.
Yeah.
Excellent. Oh, the umpire's just hit him. That's Weeks. He flipped Ned Brooks.
Was it high?
Yeah, in the face.
Was it intentional?
Ned's got a bleeding head. It was medium contact, intentional. Nearly took his eye out. Poor Ned. Neddy boy. Taking it like a champ, though, getting on with the game. Yeah. It was harder than Willie Rioli's hit in that Collingwood flopper the other week. So there's that. A fly here. Big Brooks in. No, not quite. Curran reads it at ground level. Doesn't quite get his kick away. They need to go now. Straight up the guts. They will. Davis. He's a long way from home. Don't know what that was, but it worked. So who am I to judge?
Well, this is with Gorels. This is interesting because there was no one forward of centre. Everybody was in that forward 50 act. So now it's like, who's got the energy left for a gut run to get down the other end of the paddock? In the end, the ball spills and they may have had the gut run all for nothing.
And it is Seb Kerish's kick. Mitch Larson started boxing the ball.
So they've all got up. They're all going to run back now.
Kerish is a lovely user of the ball.
Interchange happening there. I think Noble coming off, I think. Inside forward 50 for Shock. You think one more goal would certainly write it off. Out of that pack came
Another
the
free
kick.
kick.
Is it downfield?
They're not. No, it's not downfield. They're getting the rub of the green. Not that, you know, they're getting the calls at this stage, which is good for them. And then again, this will just chew up enough time to basically put this game to bed. I'll leave it to you for a sec, Phil. I need to work out my second best on ground because I need to do team player of the day.
You know, there's vouchers and prizes at stake, so you need some thinking time for that. I totally get that. Kick to another big pack of players. Kakuro kick around the body. Won't score, but it will be Princess free. All right, Brazil is a long way from home. Rankin comes in to force the spoil. It's going to be Sacred. I think there's a little bit of confusion happening here, especially as I can't actually physically see.
Telling him to leave the ball, but there's no... Yeah, it's not like the time's ticking.
Okay.
Anyway.
Princes have it, and they've maintained momentum with a short kick towards the old Channel 10, Channel 7 building here, which is no more. We're back with Bradley. Long way from home, Princess to Brazil, and Sacred saying that's out on the full, and the boundary umpire concurs. Sacred Heart ball.
Now, Darcy Gloyes, from the Javor Footy Factory, in the Javor pocket, all he's got to do here, Phil, is put this... No, don't go around the corner. Kick it, drop, punt, put it on the left post. The draw of the angle will kick it, drop, punt, Darcy. Now he's going to go with the left foot round the corner. He's dreaming. Yep, and kicks it like... You can't teach. Oh,
that's just a very intelligent pass,
tremendous
TJ.
vision to your man Ned with the bleeding head.
You know, it wasn't just why do a normal pass. Why not do one high that wastes an extra couple of seconds? And so Ned Brooks, who didn't score before, I don't think, or maybe that was my missing goal. I don't think so. He's had the sighter. What do you say? We said 10 goals would win, maybe 9.
Yep.
Crowd hushed. Run over the goal umpire's hat. Sacred Heart are home. No doubt their biggest win in their time back in Division 1. They took care of the Premiers twice, but to come to the league leaders at Park 9 and beat them in the way that they have, they haven't lost a quarter. They've won 3 of them with the first one drawn. They have a 25-point lead. We're into time on, and it will be a celebration for the boys in double blue.
How interactive is our filming footy van? I've just got another A-grade coach of Division 1 texting me for some information and swapping scores.
Are they playing at the moment?
Yes. They're currently playing. He's texting us because he knows we've got the scores.
Is that to see if they're falling top?
Yes, it certainly is. And what's happening between Brighton and Port District?
Probably. Yes. Okay.
So,
do you want me to find out?
Yeah, if you could tell him.
Okay. Well, you better call some footy there.
Yeah, and it's good tackle there by PAC. I think we'll have another ball up here. Umpires have been good today. I think we've everyone's quick to criticise umpires. No game without him in his 700th
Some
game.
quicker than others.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair.
Just on that, Glenunga are leading Goodwood by 67 points, so we can understand the distraction.
Yeah.
Yes.
Michael Williamson in his 700th game. 700 of anything's a fair accomplishment.
Not wrong.
And he's going to get off, and he can't wait to rip the top off a pack of Winnie Blues and get another one into him. Smoke responsibly. Don't smoke, actually. And Bradley does a little dance, a shimmy this way, and again, the free kicks are going all to Sacred Heart, but I think they're probably, they're deserving, a lot of them. No, nothing untoward there. And often when you pass comment of umpires, it can sound the wrong way, but...
Brighton have just goaled, and they lead Port District by 16 points.
Yep.
The day of the underdogs today.
Yes.
13-12-90. Now that game is almost done. That's at the 26-minute mark of the final quarter. So we'll get you the other scores as time expires. TJ, you're at the 22-minute mark. So
taking bait, takes it, runs. Looks for the $1 million goal. Oh, the bounce, everything's favoured them today. Can they squeeze out one more here? Brooks goes at ground level, gives it off. That's touched, I think it is touched.
This is where you make the move and you move Cooper Brinkworth into the forward line so he can kick that first goal in 75 games.
Yes.
Whilst it's on stream so people can believe it happened. All set, TJ? You got your bag?
Steve Kerrish is going to be the only brunette to get in the award today. It's a stat. Go the Torp, Tappy. Go the Torp and we'll put you in the top 50 players in the league.
TJ's top 50.
I'll have my people call your people.
TJ's top 50.
He looks for a nice drop. It'll be Chris Curran territory and you set your watch by him. I'll be back, Phil. I'm just going to make sure they are ready.
Yep. Curran, kick across field. Not much in the way of urgency now from Prince Alfred Old Collegians. They are just struggling. And they've done it again. I haven't seen this many turnovers this deep in defence by Prince Alfred in any game that I've called them in the last few years. It's been intercepted by Sam Lawby. The defence of Sacred Heart Old Collegians. 1 goal allowed against Port District, 2 against Old Ignatians, 6 today. And Lawby, who's kicked a goal. Just the one multiple goal scorer. Make that 2. 2 for Lobby. 11 for Sacred Heart. They go to 11,975. Prince Alfred 6,743. With this win, Sacred Heart would go to 11-3. Still in third position, but here's the big thing. With the loss, assuming Port District lose, and I can tell you very quickly that Port District have lost 92-74 in favour of Brighton, that there is now a 2-game gap between third and fourth. And Port District chance of defending their title, well, it may not be going through the double chance.
Yes. It's probably haven't paid enough tribute to the Sacred Heart midfield today. I think they've been fantastic. They've had plenty of rotations floating through there. Moore's been good. Lovelock, I've loved his game, especially after quarter time. They've just had an answer for everything PAC have tried. And so there it is, a good tackle from behind. That's probably 6 or 7 free kicks in a row, but it's there. And once again, it's going to be Sam Lowby going for his third. It's the same blueprint for Port Districts. When Port Districts beat PAC, they just all over him in the contest and give him no space.
How many inside 50s have Princes had in this final quarter?
I'm going to go with 1.
Yeah, I don't think it's more than 2.
It's probably less than 3.
Yeah. It's staggering when you think about it.
What, the day they're having...
I mean, they've kicked a couple of goals.
Yep. To high kicks. Not quite going to get there right on the line, and they will push it over there. So the last quarter, again, they've done it. They do this really well. It's 4 goals, 5. So they've kicked 2 goals. So, yeah, maybe 3 or 4 inside 50s, but certainly not a lot of meaningful. It just felt like it's been down this end the whole quarter, Phil. Yeah. Probably being a bit harsh on with our numbers there.
Well, I guess the thing is that Sacred Heart have kicked enough, and they've, since quarter time, have won the last 3 quarters. They didn't lose a quarter today. 3 wins and a draw. They'll win this one.
At the 26-minute mark, my buddy bet might be home by the nick of
half. Yeah, and I said
goal.
I wondered if I could get 5 off you, but you wouldn't let me.
It's probably hold the ball as well, but not paid. And go this way, that way, left foot. McDermott round the corner. And on the siren, it was Rankin. My apologies. It is Sacred Heart 11-11, PAC 6-7. Very similar to the score the PAC won with last week. I'm going to head out, find some players, do some awards. Phil, as always, it's been a pleasure, but I'll probably see you in a little while.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Just a minute. When you're finished, go to a break. So I can take some photos. Teamwork live on air. You're hearing it here. The filming footy game of the round, the Adelaide Footy League. And the third place Sacred Heart Old Collegians have got a big scalp. They've taken down the league leaders, Prince Alfred Old Collegians. Just the Red Men's, only their second loss this season. 11-11 to 6 goals, 7. Sacred Heart, they won the Bs. Prince Alfred won the Cs. And Sacred Heart, the A's. Let's look around some other scores as they're happening. It's all over at Glenunga. And the Rams are the new league leaders. They finished winning 17 goals, 9, 111. Goodwood Saints, 7-6, 48. That means our game next week, well, we'll find out what happened with St. Peter's and Old Ickies in a sec, but it would mean that Goodwood Saints still slight chance of being relegated, and they need a win in our broadcast game next week, and that will be against St. Peter's Old Collegians. Glenunga winning there by 63 points. So we've got 3 finals. Sacred Heart by 34 here. Glenunga by 63 over Goodwood Saints, and Brighton by 18 over Port District. They are a long way back at St. Peter's Old Ignatians. I'll check them in a sec, but let's go to Tea Tree Gully. They're playing Broadview at the moment. It's been pretty close all day. They are still going. And it's Broadview that are looking the goods. They have the ball, they have a mark, they have the lead. 25 minutes gone. They are 17-7, 109. Tea Tree Gully 14-9, 93. So a Broadview win here would create a 3-way ties. We've got the highlights. Clayton Simons, expect to see him on screen very shortly. Was very busy. So yes, that 26-point lead to Broadview at the 25-minute mark. And if that holds, we're going to have Tea Tree Gully, Brighton and Broadview all on 6 wins and 8 losses with 4 games to go. Tea Tree Gully will still be in the 5. They do have the superior percentage. Only one game that I haven't given you an update on. TJ not too far away with some interviews. This one is still going, and it will be going for a while because we've got up a little bit, 24 minutes into the final quarter. Old Ignatians have given a pretty good account of themselves, but St. Peter's are going to win. They are 14-12, 96, Old Ignatians 9-11, 65. So at the 24-minute mark, it is St. Peter's by 31 points, which will give St. Peter's 6 premiership points, Goodwood 9. They're the 2 teams battling to avoid relegation. Tommy Javour's been out and about. He's rounded up his crew. It's time to, thanks to Archie's Footwear, let's go to TJ.
Okay, TJ here. Firstly, on debut, he kicked a goal from my footy factory. Chester Forster, you are a star. How did that feel?
Many goals, so it was good to finally get one, but no, it was a great game. It's good today.
You barely came up to my crutch in the under-13s. Like, where's the growth spurt and the hair come from? What's happened?
Yeah, the brothers are the same. Oscar's 6'3", so it was going to come someday. Just came a little bit later than expected, that's all.
And you loving playing with these boys?
Oh, it's unreal. It's great. I love the boys.
Right on, mate. Hang around. I'm going to get a photo for you. If you could just duck off the side. I'm just going to throw back to Phil in the central commentary position. I'll be back with 3 very good award winners in just a sec.
Thank you, TJ. So just to wrap up what's happening around the Adelaide Footy League today, it was shocked by 34 points here. It is Broadview by 26 over Tea Tree Gully late. Goodwood Saints have beaten Glenunga by 63. Brighton have beaten Port District by 3 goals. And St. Peter's will defeat Old Ignatians.
Okay, we're back. I've been told to look at the camera. I've stuffed up, Oscar. I also called you Archie today, so apologies for that. Oh, you can't say that word. Firstly, let me give you your Moseley Bar and Kitchen Voucher $100 award. Mate, it's the first time this year, I really think, or maybe one other time, you beat the PAC midfield. Tell us how it happened.
Just pressure, I reckon. Yeah, we were just real hard at it all day, and worked in the end.
You didn't rate your game, did you? But I thought you were fantastic.
Just try to do all the little things right, and the rest works itself.
What's it like playing with this group of lads, mate? You look like you're all really connected.
Well, we all went to school together, so we all sort of know each other really well, and we're real tight knit. So it's good.
Beautiful, mate. Enjoy the Moseley Bar and Voucher just down the road for you, lads. Let me jump across. Player of the day. Now, Phil Herden called it 4 bounces running down. You don't see that much in football. You reckon it was 3, but either way, it was bloody good. Take us through it.
I probably should apologise to Dewey first. He was taking an intercept mark, and I snatched it right out of his hands. Then he just saw it open up, so tuck it under the arm, have a go at it. Yeah.
Of course, Seb Kerrish probably should have introduced him. You have won the Neomorph mouthguard, you absolute star. Mate, you keep getting in the votes. What do you put the good season down to?
Just enjoying it, I think. Playing with, great bunch of lads. Just coming in, training's good. Playing out here with your best mates, cut. Yeah, it's really good.
No worries, mate. And Port District have lost today, you might want to know. So big things coming for you guys. Let me jump in and look, very rare it's as unanimous as this. Best on ground, Clayton Simus. How did you rate your performance, mate?
Nah, not that good. I started well. I think I fizzled out a bit, but tried to put myself behind it a little bit once it looked like we were hanging on for a while. But no, it ended up a pretty good day. So I think we walk off obviously happy, but still stuff to work on, which we talked about, which is good to look forward to.
Pretty good day, 30-3. I think you might find yourself those. Now, first off, there's the iconic Dartfish beanie. There's the New Balance voucher. There's a lot of things we could talk about. We're going to talk about what we talked about on the way over. Is it true you watch Between the Posts each week?
I love Between the Posts. I text my fearless coach, Alex Carlotto, every week when it gets uploaded, and sometimes I get home pretty late from work and I put it on no matter what. So it's a great show and you should all be tuning in every week. Very valuable.
Mate, you are wonderful. We're going to get more best. Hey, well done. Best on ground. So you are absolute star. I'm going to throw back to Phil. No, we're going to throw to a break now. Thanks to Hugo. Thanks. We'll be back after these sponsorship messages.
Teaming up with the Adelaide Footy League. Tom Wren on the ground at your club for Thursday Night Live, strengthening communities through footy.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable, so basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
That's
Welcome
a man
back.
love out there, Phil, didn't I?
It did. You are the hardest working commentator in South Australian football. We're back in the filming Footy Media Centre, aka the broadcast van, where today Sacred Heart Old Collegians had a big win. 34 points, 11-11, 77 to 6-7, 43. Whilst you get your breath back, TJ, let me let you know scores from elsewhere. We've got some match highlights happening in front of
I
you.
like watching these too.
Shock beat Old Ignatians. No, not Shock. St. Peter's, Spock and Shock.
They've done well.
Spock have beaten Old Ignatians by 32 points, 14-13, 97 to 9-11, 65. That's good night for Old Ignatians for mine. St. Peter's are on 6 premiership points. Goodwood Saints are on 9. Still a silly chance. Brighton Bombers, Port District. The Bombers up by 18 points, 13-14 to 11-8. Big win by Brighton.
All coming up Millhouse for the top team, isn't it?
That means 2-game gap between Sacred Heart in 3rd and Port District in 4th. Tea Tree Gully and Broadview. Tea Tree Gully led early, but Broadview won by 22 points, 115 to 93. That means a 3-way tie for 5th. Tea Tree Gully, Brighton, Broadview, all on 6 and 8, 12 premiership points. And the final score, we have a new league leader because Glenunga, 17-9, 111, took care of Goodwood, 7-6, 48. The margin 63 points. Rather than being in the mix to play finals, it means Goodwood need to win next week to make sure they don't get relegated. What a week.
Yeah, lots to take in there, lot to unwrap. The bit that, I guess, we always talk about the top teams and the relegation battle, but the thing that just, right, you blow me over the feather. 3 teams on 6 and 8, all vying for 5th spot.
Yep.
Do any of them deserve it? Well, you deserve it if you get
Well, they're going to get it. I mean, you're the 5th best team, you play finals, but...
can they get near 4th?
I mean, Tea Tree Gully haven't had the best of seasons after a good start, and they haven't been ousted
I did
yet.
actually miss... What did Broadview beat Tea Tree Gully by?
22 points in the end.
Yeah,
it was 4 points at three-quarter time.
Yeah, I did mention on the broadcast already that I was at multiple grounds and had long chats at Broadview with some of their key people, and they're obviously looking at all the machinations. They've got an easier draw, if there's such a thing as an easier draw, in a sense that they've got Spock and Old Iggies to come, whereas Tea Tree Gully haven't. So you'd suggest that Gullies would be a longer shot to play finals, even though they're the incumbent.
These are the matchups for next week. Broadview hosts Glenunga. These are all Saturday, August the 5th.
Yeah, next Saturday. Would you like the tip while you're here? Because I am the Div 1 expert. Okay. I am coming off a 2 out of 5.
Broadview versus Glenunga, you'd say the Rams there. Yeah. Prince Alfred Old Collegians here host Old Ignatians. Good redemption game for Prince Alfred.
And poor old Iggies are going to cop them at the worst time. They're going to play hungry next week.
That's exactly right. Port District, Tea Tree Gully. 2 teams that really need to win right now.
Is that Port District, is it?
Yep.
Yeah, it'll be Port District.
And the game at Glenorga Oval, Sacred Heart Old Collegians and the Brighton Bombers.
Yes. Brighton, it's a great win by them over Port District. A Port District that lost last week that would have been coming out firing. But this Sacred Heart unit, my goodness me, they're here. Do you know what I'll say?
They haven't left just yet.
No. Do you know what I'll entertain this comment?
Okay.
I can see them holding the cup up at the end of the year. It wouldn't surprise me now. I never thought that was one of the possibilities. Genuinely thought it was.
I mean, we all sort of early days. It was a race in 4. Their Port District's dropped off. Possibly, but they've got the talent there.
They've lost 3 in a row.
They've lost 3 in a row, but they've still got the talent there for a late comeback, maybe. Final game, we're going to be at Goodwood Oval for the Goody Saints and St. Peter's. We saw 2 of the best today. We're going to see 2 battling. It's going to be we're going to see 2 of the battlers, and we're going to see what's unique about the Adelaide Footy League, and that is avoiding relegation. We're going to see footy
played
in
because every game has consequence, and that's where we go. Goodwood and St. Peter's. Yeah, Goodwood for mine.
They played a semi-final 2 years ago. Well, they played in the semi-finals 2 years ago.
Yeah, they sure did, didn't they?
Context.
Yeah.
Thanks to the Banner Crew, 9 News, Buddy Bet, Sport, Roll the Dice Racing, Archie's, Programs to Fit, Dartfish, Sports Interactive, and the Moseley Bar and Kitchen. TJ, hit us with some final thoughts for the day.
Look, we tipped PAC, but I think, I said it in the weekly wrap. I said it today. Wouldn't be surprised if Sacred Heart, the tools, wasn't necessarily the tools that got them, although they did have the bailouts down the line. The tools are very good, but it's those young, lean whippets. They're just good. They're really good. They're exciting. I like watching them play, and not just because they gave me so much love. And they even mentioned, there's a few of us here from the Javor Footy Factory. Well, Mike was nominated. So, all right, boys, you're buttering me up now.
I'm out of beanies. Sorry, boys.
Yeah. They're bloody exciting, Phil. I want to see them some more. I want to see them on fast decks in spring, and they could go all the way. And I haven't thought that all year, to be honest with you. I just didn't see anyone beating PAC except maybe Glenunga if they had a perfect day. But, yeah.
We'll get that game a little bit later in the season. Thanks for that, TJ. And of course, you can keep up with TJ's awesome Division 1 wrap, part of Between the Posts. And you'll get me Sunday afternoon for the weekend wrap, all the scores and ladders. Thanks also to James and Liam, our camera crew, Hugo, our erstwhile producer, and of course, Boss, John Douglas, and all the Filming Footy family.
Filming Footy van right here.
The Filming Footy van. That's the media centre on top of our caps. Today at Park 9, PAC's, well, they're still unbeaten in the C grade, beating Sacred Heart. The B's, Sacred Heart pretty comfortably, and the A's dropped by 34 points. I'm Balloon saying thanks for tuning in today. We'll be back at Goodwood Oval next week. Two teams desperate to avoid relegation. The Goody Saints hosting St. Peter's Old Collegians. Until then, you've been watching the Adelaide Footy League. Thanks to Filming Footy.